This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Damn, Perk did this?
I don't need no one to save me. I was born to be the greatest. All that time in that basement, all that time isn't wasted. Rapping getting faded. I just wanna tell my mom that I made it. Just wanna be the topic of the conversation. Used to rock the gold plated. Now I'm wearing gold chains like I'm famous.
What's going on, everybody? This is Kings and Dreams. We got a special one tonight. Got some special guests. We are going to have some conversations about the Manosphere. And, one thing about me is that I believe that the Manosphere has room for everybody, regardless of what you believe in. I think the most important thing as men, we definitely need to be unified, right? And so I don't want to long stroke this. I'm going to start this off right away, man. First of all, I got to actually bring up the brother who actually put the idea in my head to do this, man. My brother Reese, how we doing, man?
What's good? What's good? Good evening, everyone.
Okay, man. Another brother I met, Mr. Lucario. How you doing, brother?
Chilling. What's going on? Shout out to everybody. What's poppin'?
Absolutely. I met Mr. Lucario. How you doing, brother?
Chilling. What's going on? Shout out to everybody.
Somebody got an echo.
Yeah, I got a strong echo.
How you doing, brother?
Chilling. What's going on? Shout out to everybody. That ain't me.
Yeah, I got a strong echo.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So that might have been Austin's. Okay. All right. So I will wait for Austin to pop back up, man. But anyway, I appreciate you brothers for coming on and thank you so much. I think that I know having these conversations are important, especially us as black men, right? Us as black men, we don't necessarily have to get along, but there needs to be agree to disagree factor, right? I think that that's one of the most important things. And okay, here he is. You good to go?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't know what was going on, but I had an echo.
Okay, all right. Yeah, but last but not least, man, Auston Holleman, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. And yourself?
I'm doing well, man. I just want to thank you three brothers for coming on. I know Alpha Villains, he wasn't able to make it, but we still gonna get this show on the road, man. So first question I want to ask you, and I'll start with you, Mr. Lucario. What does the Manosphere mean to you?
I mean, I'll say this. I don't like look at myself as part of the Manosphere necessarily. I kind of like put myself out of all of the stuff except for game. But as far as men in general, I just think men need to be men and to be about what they say they're about. So if you're about something, just stand on it and be about it. You know what I mean? And don't care what anybody else thinks about what you're trying to do. So the thing is as a man, you got to really just stand on your own too, do your thing, say fuck what everybody else think, and then just keep that shit pushing. So that's how I look at it. Okay,
cool. And Austin, what about yourself?
I would say the Manosphere is here to help men because in the United States, there's a lot of emasculation of men going on, and I think it's saving men and making them aware of female nature and just what it is to be a man.
Okay. And then last but not least, Reese, what about you, brother?
Yeah, in my opinion, the Manosphere is pretty much supposed to be the haven of self-improvement. Meaning when you come to this space, you actually see the brothers that did it, see the brothers that made it. We're the role models, especially all of us, because I don't know about Austin, but me and Lucario, we're in our 40s. So we're pretty much supposed to be the role models and the example of what is supposed to be the Manosphere, even though, especially me and Lucario, because we're both married, But the thing is, we're supposed to basically set the tone and let it go from there and keep, like he said, keep providing that game, keep providing the information, that feel good information, you know, to be motivating and to be inspiring. And anything negative, you pretty much got to just try to do your best to zen your way out of it and not to pretty much bitch about it. It's okay to have a complaint, but you're supposed to come to the Manosphere for a solution. And in my opinion, the Manosphere kind of like that because, of course, the internal turmoil that goes on both ends, Black Manosphere, Manosphere, whatever. But that's what it's supposed to be to me. It's supposed to be that haven for self-improvement, that game.
Right. Okay. So I'll give my opinion, right? And so at least for me, what the Manosphere means to me, and I agree with all of you guys collectively, and I would say that no matter whether it's game, travel, relationships, self-improvement, financial, whatever it is, but it's a space for men to come together, help learn, educate, and build each other up. As you mentioned, Reese, you know, yourself and Lucario, you guys are in your 40s. That's, you know, that's still young, black, don't crack. But you know what I mean? Like, you know, giving knowledge to people that are younger than you. So I'm almost 40. I'm 37, so I'll be 38 in February. But I'm trending, you know, in that direction. And then we have Auston. I believe you're 23 or 24.
23.
Okay, 23, right? So we got to set the example, you know. So you guys set the example for me. I set the example for Auston, and then so on and so forth, right? It's kind of like a domino effect. So that's how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I guess my question, and I'll start with you, Auston, kind of being the youngest. Now, where do you see kind of like this disconnect in the Manosphere? Because I'm just hearing like a lot of conversations going back and forth between certain groups of men, whether it be a dating coach, lifestyle coach, brothers who travel, things of that sort. Where do you see the disconnect coming from? And I only ask that because you're the youngest one on the panel. So I kind of want to hear your statement first.
I can't really tell you where the disconnect is coming from because I didn't start it. I'm just responding to it. I'm not the one to answer that.
Well, okay, so let me ask you this then. Where like the disconnect, so how do you feel about the disconnect then?
I don't care.
All right, fair enough. All right, so then Mr. Lucario, what say you?
I say the disconnect is that people just aren't being honest. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of time, like for example, like right now in the chat, this dude QB is in there, and I'm about to leave in like 5 minutes if he ain't out of there. But this is a guy who's been lying on me, spreading propaganda about me. So what happens is that people start to spread shit that's not really real, and they're not actually talking about the real issues. So then nothing actually gets solved or accomplished because people just want to play around and do stuff. So the thing is this, is YouTube, and it's cool because certain things are entertainment, and that's fine. I think that's cool. But I feel like if you're trying to teach somebody something, right, there's part of that where you got to actually take it seriously in a sense. So even, for example, like even with Auston, if he's saying, look, I'm trying to tell, I think you did a stream earlier. I caught it real quick when you were talking about different hotels in Brazil and all that other stuff. So if you're teaching guys that, they should pay attention, watch what it is so that they could, you know what I'm saying? Like do what they got to do. But I feel like there's so much of this playing around where it deviates the actual information. And there's a lot of people that are just looking for people to go back and forth and beef and do all this other nonsense. So I feel like the disconnect comes from people just not being honest, not being real. And you got people out there that's just trying to start nonsense all the time just to make shit be a, you know, a thing where people are butting heads. Because me in general, I like to look at the ideas. I've always said that in all my videos. Even when I talk about someone or critique someone, I'm critiquing the idea. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not going at the person specifically. So that's how I look at it.
I got you. So basically what you're saying is that you're not trying to offend the person, but more or less it's about the action, not the person, it's themselves.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. All right. And then Reese, what say you?
In my opinion, the disconnect mostly comes from not even the creators themselves, or I won't even call them content creators, you know, but not even the commentators. but more from the viewership, more from subscribership. If you look at what I mean, when you take a look at chat rooms and everything, there's some cats in the chat like, hey, stop looking at the chat. Like, pay attention to basically like the topic at hand. It's like, look, we're all here for a purpose. We're going to look at the damn chat. We're going to acknowledge who's talking. We're going to acknowledge you because you're a spectator. This is what we do. And on top of all that, if you say something out of pocket, we're going to address it, especially if it's something relevant to this. And that's the problem that's been going on in the space. It's too cliquish. And the thing is, I understand that all of us, we have our own viewership, our own supporters, our own subs, whatever the case may be. And that's the problem, because it's almost like everybody has like a cult following, but it shouldn't even be that. If this is going to be one space, then everybody should be objective. Like, take it for example, like I've seen Lucario go on, shout out to Bernard Riley show. And what do everybody that chat go for? They go after his neck about the open marriage and all that other shit, instead of just addressing the topic at hand. It's like, okay, if the topic is about something else, why are you addressing his open marriage? Why are you addressing him being a dating coach if he's married and all this other stuff? Same thing with Auston. And regardless of what he wants to go overseas for, why can't you just address the topic at hand? Like he said, if he's talking about which hotels you could come up on a dope price in a Brazil or a Colombia or whatever, pay attention to that. Right. Why do you care about why he's going over there? The point is, you should be getting this game up on about these hotel discounts or whatever the case may be. It's just the viewership. Like when I said it before, shout out to O'Shea, when I talked about that the Black Manosphere kind of lacked inspiration, everybody came at my neck because they were making it seem like I said like the Black Manosphere is not helping anybody in dating, and pretty much I was. It's like, okay, do people really come to the Black Manosphere to get dating tips? No, they don't. It's almost like they just complain in the comments. And then next thing you know, well, where are we? What are we supposed to do? Where are we supposed to go and complain to? Okay, so you came to a place to complain, but you didn't find a place for a solution. This was supposed to be the place for the dang solution. Now, the thing is this. People like Lucario have solutions all day. Free solutions every fucking day on this damn platform. Auston can have solutions too. King, you can have solutions too. I can have solutions too. But they don't care. They want to be entertained by the topic. They don't give a shit about putting in the work in that you guys always say to do or whatever. But the thing is this, they want to come, they want to complain, and we kind of found out maybe the viewership is young, maybe it's juvenile. So when they see us speaking, they're just like, you know what? Fuck this nigga, woo woo. So now they turn into trolls. Now they're no longer supporters of the Black Manosphere. They're just waiting to see who comes on so that they can start tossing tomatoes at a nigga. That's just what they do. But that's just what I saw in my opinion. So the moment the viewership just like, okay, let's calm down. Let's be objective. Let's support everybody that come up on here. It's only really rowdy when it comes to the whole dating shit. It ain't like they be rowdy when we talk about finance. It's like if Earn Your Leisure was part of the Black Manosphere, I don't know, will they still be considered part of the Black Manosphere, even though they talk about financial and economic content? But the thing is, they wouldn't be coming at their necks or nothing like that. But when it comes to dating coaches, y'all snake oil salesmen, Ron Wills, and all, yeah, it's the same thing over and over again. But what I see is individuals that's trying to make you better. And so they'll say, hey, you guys are saying shit that I could go get for free from somebody else. Why I gotta pay for the Bad Boy membership? Why I gotta pay for this? Why I gotta pay for that? What's with this game is to be sold, not to be told and shit. It's self-improvement. What's the difference between hollering at Lucario or hollering at Ron Wills and going to buy a Tony Robbins book? He's the self-improvement guru. But since it's some black shit, it's some nigga shit, that's when it has to be attacked. Right. That's all it is. So when the spectators stop tripping and just sit back and just listen and then give a thumbs up or a thumbs down to the content, that's it. But when you start throwing words out there, I could tell that I'm being watched by a bunch of niggas who've never been taught to tell the other team good game after a fucking L.
Right. Yeah. So, and the thing is, just to kind of piggyback off what you said, Reese and Lucario, I think that it really is a crab in a barrel mentality where it's just like either people don't want to see you do better than what they're doing, or it's like people don't want to believe in what you're doing. And it's just that they want to pull you down. Right. And I don't think that us as men, that's not what the Manosphere is here for. It's supposed to be about self-improvement, right? Now, if you say, hey, you know what? I don't believe in what Mr. Lucario was saying. That's cool, but you don't necessarily have to say, oh, like he's full of shit, he's lying, or whatever the case is. Now, if he has proof and people are purchasing what he has to offer, then let that be that. You don't have to purchase it, but you don't have to go say, oh, he's this and that, or Auston Holleman, right? People are saying, oh man, like you've only been in Brazil, like, or Colombia, whatever the case is. You don't know anything about traveling the world, but he knows what he knows from his experience. He's talking about his experience where he's been. So you can't necessarily take that experience away from somebody, right? So that's the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm. Also, I want to say something real quick. See, it's funny. I'm looking at the chat, and so people are like, "Oh, well, Lucario, you started this. I didn't start anything." So what happened is that people got to understand that dudes have been going overseas for years. Since some of y'all were probably 5 years old and 2 years old, older dudes. Like I was in Brazil when most of y'all were like 7 years old. You understand what I'm saying? So this is nothing new. Now, what happened was, and I'm not saying that anybody started this, started that, but what I was hearing was people were saying that, well, because we have our passports, dating coaches are obsolete and game don't exist and all these other stuff. So if you're saying this about something and it's not true, I'm going to have to address it because it's not true. And so when you're saying things that are lies and that are not true or that's misinformation, it needs to be addressed, because if you're spreading misinformation, then what's going to happen is people who are trying to learn are not going to learn. Do you see what I'm saying? And so the problem is that, again, you have people out here that they don't give a fuck about what I'm saying. They don't give a fuck about what Austin's saying. They don't give a fuck about Reese. They don't give a fuck about K and D is saying. They just want people to fight. That's it. They want to see a bunch of stuff. So for those people, I don't really care about those people. I just don't want to be associated with those people. That's all I'm saying. When certain people are in the chat or talking this and talking that, I don't want to be mixed up in that, because I'm a businessman and I actually help people for a living. You see what I'm saying? First and foremost. So that's the thing, is that when I'm doing what I'm doing this to actually help people. So when people are coming to run amok and to play games and to act like children, then I'm like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. But yeah, go ahead.
Right. No, I get that. Like, I know rather that people would rather see the chaos as opposed to people having a more civilized conversation. Like people want to see the carnage as opposed to seeing the peace, right? And so I don't like when people are just getting at people but not getting at the topic, at what you have mentioned earlier, right? You have to attack the person. I'm sorry, attack the topic, not the person. Let me phrase that. Attack the topic, not the person, right? So now I'm looking in the comments myself, and I'm not privy to this because I haven't checked this, but some of the people are saying that you did like a diss against the Passport Bros. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's all, look, I did a diss song, and not even a diss song. I did a song about tricks. It's called Traveling Tricks.
Okay.
It's about people tricking. You see what I'm saying? So right. From what I heard, and Passport Bros were saying this, is that they not tricking. So I'm like, how is it about Passport Bros if y'all don't trick? You see what I'm saying? But if you're tricking, that's cool, but it is what it is. So we have to call it what it is. So for example, when I was in Brazil, I tricked when I was in Brazil, when I was like 22, 23. You see what I'm saying? So what it is that because I was tricking, I'm not going to come and say, hey, listen, when I tricked over there, when I was 21, 22, 23, I was doing some player shit, bro, man. I was doing all this, like I had like tight game when I was tricking. You understand what I'm saying? No, I was tricking. So if something is what it is, we got to call what is what it is. And that's fine. So this is my thing. I don't have a problem with people tricking. That's your business. I have a problem when people are saying tricking isn't what it is. That's the issue. And that's what I'm saying, where people have to be real about what's actually going on instead of just saying things that's not actually what it is. That's all I'm saying. You see what I mean? Like, just be about what it's about. You see what I mean? It's almost like if I would be full of shit if I was like, man, like, you know, my coaching doesn't cost that much, and you know, and I'm just doing this for free because that's all I'm. No, you got to pay. The game costs. So I'm letting you know exactly what it is. Like, this is a business. I'm not hiding any of that. So if somebody's like, oh, Lucario's trying to make money, you damn right I'm trying to make money because this is my business. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not going to pretend I'm not trying to make money when I'm actually trying to make money. So if a person's tricking, that's cool. Just own up to being a trick, and that's fine. But you got to be, and this is what I'm talking about, being a man. If you're a man, then you would just own up to what you do and what you're about. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. And so I don't mean to just lean on you, Lucario, but I had a second part to that. So you mentioned that when you were in Brazil, you did pay for play, whatever the case is, right? So now let's say, and I'll open this up to you, Reese, and you, Auston, as well. Now let's say that you have a brother, right? He does pay for play, but he's also talking to regular girls on the side. So does that make him a trick, or is that a guy with game as well?
You want to go? Who want to go first?
You know what? Since you did a lot of talking, so I'll go with you, Reese.
So the question was, does a man have game if he's paying for pussy and if he's dating socially?
Correct, right? So let's say like, all right, so let's say a guy meets 10 women, right?
Yeah.
3 out of the 10 women pay for play. The other 7 women, he got them organically. Does that make him a trick?
Oh, well, if you pay for the booty, that just makes you a trick, period. But if you're one of those individuals where it's just like, you know what, let me go ahead and grab this because I got the bread, I want a nut, boom, you do what you do. Now, the thing is this, like Lucario was explaining it before, there's a facade of what gentlemen are doing. They're posting up pictures with prostitutes talking about, yeah, I pull this. Chicks out here are more feminine and yada yada yada. Y'all need to get your passports and come get one of these and shit, when she's literally a prostitute, because that's what some guys are actually doing. Now, of course, we're not going to say any names or anything like that, but that's what's been done. Now, the thing is this: if you pulled 10 chicks organically and you're tricking off on 3, I mean, you do you, but it's almost as if like you can just go ahead and save your bread and just continue your hunt for more of them organically. Because the thing is this, there's actually more cats. I'm sure there's cats in the chat room that can actually attest to this too. A lot of you men have pretty much pulled without paying anything. And no, it's not tricking if you like paying for a dinner date or whatever. I mean, that's just it's a freaking dinner. You know what I mean? People use dinners to get to know the chick, and it's been done before. That's normal. All right. I even said in my own videos, girls really ain't gonna fuck you over after being fed. I mean, it's food. Who fucks for food, right? But some girls already found you sexually attractive. They just happen to have sex with you after dinner. But if she would have had her way, she would have been like, you just could have came to my place. You didn't have to do all this shit. And a lot of guys have been told that before. They'd be like, damn, I could have saved some money. Yeah, you could have saved some money. But they really didn't have to trick off. They didn't have to pay for booty 3 times over. They could have just kept on using the mouthpiece, kept on going on dates or whatever, or just been upfront right then and there, like, look, I would like to take you out, but I think you sexy as hell. Why don't you come through and we get busy? You ain't got to use those words. I'm not trying to promote anything, but just being honest and upfront with the desires that you actually have for this woman. You'd be amazed on how many of the girls were just like, shit, about time. I was hoping you would say that. It's just most girls ain't gonna come out and just say that shit up front because they're gonna get classified as hoes, which is some things that a lot of men have done. We done slut shame so many of these chicks now. They want to go mow one on men so bad, but they call hoes. But in my opinion, you don't need to trick for no booty if you got a mouthpiece. You don't.
Okay, gotcha. Auston, what say you, brother?
Ask me the question again.
So the question is that if you travel to whatever country, right, and let's say this, out of 10 women, you get 7 organically, 3 are pay for play. Would you be considered a trick?
Since I've been traveling, I've only paid 3 times, actually, exactly. The rest of them I didn't. I wouldn't. I mean, I fucked them because I wanted to. It's not that I had to pay for it. I wouldn't say I'm a trick for that, but I mean, if you have to pay, then yeah, you're a trick. But I don't have to.
Right. But so what you're saying is that most of the women that you got overseas was organic, correct?
Yeah, if I wanted to only sleep with prostitutes, I would have stayed here.
Gotcha. Understood. Okay. And then look, Mr. Lucario, what say you?
Yeah, so basically what you got to understand is that being a trick is a lifestyle, meaning that if this is something that you do. So a lot of people get it twisted. So a person can be tricking in a particular situation, but that doesn't necessarily make him a trick. So for example, let's say you got a guy who has a wife, right? And he cheats on his wife with a prostitute or whatever, right? So he's tricking in that moment, but he's only done that one time. So he's not a trick. A trick is a person where they do that all the time. That's how they get the sex. That's their lifestyle. So for example, if Kings and Dreams, if you set a Biggie verse, right? You started rapping a Biggie verse, right? Yeah. That doesn't make you a rapper. You're just rapping. You see what I'm saying? You see what I mean? So that's the thing is if you gave someone dating advice, you gave one of your friends dating advice, that doesn't make you a dating coach. You're just at the moment giving dating advice because dating coach is not your lifestyle, just like being a rapper is not your lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? So it's about the lifestyle. So if that's your lifestyle, that's what makes you a trick. You see what I'm saying? So now the confusion a lot of people get is that they don't understand that concept. Now, what happens is that every guy that's paying for pussy isn't necessarily a trick, right? But if it's your lifestyle to pay for pussy, that means you are a trick because that's how you do your thing. You see what I'm saying? Understood.
So I think so. I just want to clarify here. What you're saying is that like if you surround your lifestyle with basically strictly just paying for play, you are a trick.
Yes, because that's what you do. That's like
right. But if you dip and dab, you're not a trick.
No, if you're dipping and dabbing, like dipping and dabbing means like you probably did that once or you did it like once every while. But if that's something that you do on a consistent basis, just like you have people that drink on a consistent basis, you have people that smoke, those are smokers, those are drinkers, people that do that basically every damn week, almost every day. You see what I'm saying? So if you're doing that consistently, that's what you are. If a person smokes once in 3 years, they're not a smoker. You see what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where if you're consistently doing it, that's your thing that you do, which gives you that label. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I hear you, and this is where I kind of disagree, right? So let's just say like in a 12-month span, right?
Mm-hmm.
A 12-month span, we have someone that goes to, let's say, 6 countries. And all 6 countries, they did at least one pay for play, but the rest of the women that they got were just regular women. I don't necessarily think that makes them a trick. Now, what I would say, just to kind of finish my statement, right? What I would say, what would make them a trick is that if all of the women from all 6 countries that they went to, they paid for play for, okay, that would make them a trick.
Right, but well, this is the thing. If they're getting all this sex without paying, why would they keep paying each one of those women in the country? You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is like it's like if I'm getting this free water every morning, why would I give somebody $1 for it? It doesn't make any sense. You see what I'm saying? So usually what will happen is that you usually have a guy who can get sex, and then certain circumstances cause him to trick. But then you have another type of guy where tricking is what he does. He's a trick because that's what he does on a consistent basis. So what I'm saying is you're not going to have a person who's a trick who also in the same type of frequency is not tricking, because then he wouldn't bother tricking. You see what I'm saying? Part of why he's tricking is because it's easier for him to get the sex versus him not tricking. Because if he can get the sex easier, he just wouldn't trick.
Right. Yeah, I guess that's where we kind of like agree to disagree a little bit there, because like if it's someone that's getting like, obviously it's situational, right? So if someone is there, let's say someone is there in a country for maybe 10 days, 8 out of 10 days, they've been getting the woman organically, and they maybe have like 1 day left, right? They have 1 day left, and then they end up getting like 2 or 3 girls pay for play because they don't have enough time to build that organic connection with the other ladies. So I don't think that makes them a trick.
Right,
so
but
I think that's where you and I disconnect. But I mean, I understand what you're saying to a certain degree, and then it's like that part where it's like, but if the majority of the time he's able to pull a woman organically, then that doesn't make him a trick.
That's the part that's confusing, is that a person who can, right, usually won't. Meaning a person who can pull is usually not going to trick like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, so like, for example, if I'm rich and let's say, usually I just go buy stuff. I'll go in the store, I'll give my credit card to buy. I never ask for the price because I got $50 million. So then why would I all of a sudden ask for the price when I never asked for the price? So what I'm saying is, if I can pull women, why all of a sudden would I start paying? You see what I'm saying? If I can pull without paying, why would I automatically pay all of a sudden now for this particular woman?
Well, again, what if it's so? And I don't want it to be like the Kings and Lucario show, but what if it's just like? But what if it's situational where he meets this beautiful woman and wants to get with her and doesn't have time to build a connection with her. He has a flight the next morning, a couple of hours or whatever, because like I know some brothers that's happened to, where they've met girls organically and then they have to leave a couple of hours later or the next morning. They want to get with the girl. They got to take care of their business.
But King, how much time do you need? I mean, most cats, I'm trying to not make this, solidify just to like people with mouthpiece or game. But most cats run a 2-minute drill. Anything over 2 minutes, you're talking to the girl too long. So the question is, how long do you need to pique her interest?
That's a good question. I mean, so
you talk about catching a flight and shit. It's like, whoa. It's like all you need is a good 2-minute window. They say women know what they are attracted to in pretty much the first 8 seconds they see you.
Right.
How much time do you need to let her know what's up?
I would say the 2-minute drill that's good, but I would say probably about 5 to 10 minutes. Right, 5 to 10 minutes, you'll be able to know, right? But let's say within that 5 to 10 minutes, you're getting mixed signals from her. But as a man, you want to get with that at that certain amount of time. So you just like, hey, you know what? I'm a leapfrog, and since I got a flight, I knock it out the park, cool, bust it down, catch my flight. I don't think that makes him a trick, though.
No, I see what you're saying. The only disconnect, I think, also is that there's a certain arrogance that comes with men who can pull. So when you can pull, you're kind of like, if I pulled 8 chicks on my trip without paying no money, usually I'm not going to go and pay for this particular woman, because his mindset is I'm the prize, so I could get these chicks to fuck with me, period. You see what I'm saying? And so a guy's not going to look at her, because doing it that way makes you look at the other woman as special. And if you're the type of guy that looks at women as special, you can't also be the type of guy that's able to pull like that. So that's what I'm saying. It's like the problem is that when certain guys don't understand this, because they don't do this, it's hard for them to fathom it, because saying this entire sort of example, it only makes sense in the sense if you're that type of guy who pulls, because then it's almost like, well, I feel almost like I deserve to get it how I get it. So why would I get it a different way if I'm always getting it that way most of the time? You see what I'm saying? So it's just that type of thought process.
Yeah, no, I hear you, and I hear you, and I agree somewhat, and then there's a part where I disagree. But I want to move forward, right? So let me ask, and I'll start with you, Auston. What do you consider a passport bro?
That's a good question. I would say someone that travels more than 3 to 4 times a year. Not they can't be a once a year traveler. But I didn't make that term, so I can't. Yeah, I don't know what the true term of it is.
It's like what's the black manosphere? I feel you, bro.
I guess we all have our own interpretation, right? But what does it mean to you? What does it mean to Auston?
Well, you have to have your passport. Possible expat, you spend more than 3 to 6 months out of the year and outside the United States.
Okay. All right, gotcha. And then, and Reese, what say you? What do you think a passport bro is to you?
Oh, I believe it's self-explanatory. You're just an individual who got a passport, and you pretty much come and go as you please. You got the bread to see the world, to indulge in the different cultures out there, to learn. You out there to pretty much go ahead and see the different civilizations that not too many people can actually get to, and just enjoy that. So you're just a brother with a passport who travels. Nothing more. We're not gonna make this difficult.
Gotcha. Lucario.
So what's the question? What's a passport, bro?
Yeah, what do you consider a passport, bro?
Shit, I don't know, man. I guess like a dude that likes to travel to get women. That's how I looked at it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Right. See, and see, I was looking for that definition because I think that there is a misconception, and I think that that's where some of the brothers are. I think that's where like there's a disconnect, because like I don't like when brothers say that you don't need game, because there are some brothers that have been taken advantage of and continue to get taken advantage of, right? Then I would say that there are some people on some sides that would say that where like traveling is just all about women, not educating yourself or anything of that matter. And both of them I disagree with, because for me, I consider myself a travel bro, but it's because I'm a brother, like what Reese said, I'm a brother with a passport who travels. So I have a place in Colombia, in Medellin, where I travel out there 6 to 8 times a year, right? And then I do have a lady out there, sure. But even without my lady out there, I still have my place there. So I'm going to be there 6 to 8 times a year, regardless whether I'm with her or not. So that's business for me. And so I think that gets confused with just saying, like, looping all brothers and saying that, oh, you guys just monger and you guys just go there and trick off and all that. And I think that's where they get upset on that side, right? Mm-hmm. Now, what I would say and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I would say that I get upset when it comes to some people saying that they don't need dating coaches. And usually the ones that are saying it, usually it's because they know how to talk to women. They know how to communicate. They know how to, they're sociable people. So they think like, okay, like I can do this on my own. I get that. That's fair enough. But there are some people who don't know how to communicate with their own friends, don't know how to communicate with their own family, and they are actually socially awkward. And all of that does tie in, because one of the things that I liked what you said on our podcast on Reese's channel, you not only said that it's a dating coach, but you said that it's a lifestyle. And I've heard you say that multiple times, because I do believe that it is a lifestyle. Kind of ties into what Kevin Samuels, RIP, would say, like being able to communicate. Life is about people. If you're not able to communicate in the world, if you're not able to communicate with your bros, your coworkers, whatever the case is, how are you going to be able to communicate with your lady and your wife?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So all of that ties in together.
No, I see what you're saying. Definitely. It's just interesting to me, because I think there's just a lot of misinformation out here, man, because people are it's just weird. Like I have an issue with people saying things that aren't true. That's just how I am. And then so when I see people who are saying things that are dishonest or aren't true about anything, mm-hmm. it makes me want to correct it. And then so people will think, oh, well, you hate it. No, I'm not hating. I'm just correcting it because what you're saying is wrong. You see what I mean? And then you have people. This is the crazy part. So there's a dude in the chat right now, Azrael, right? This
chat is going off, man. First of all, I just want to give a shout out to everyone that's here. We had about 200 people, man. So I am going to get to some of you guys' questions. I'm going to have to cherry pick because you guys are going off, man. But definitely shout out to you guys.
See, this guy, Azrael, like he's a liar because he was on a live stream. And this is why I'm calling this shit out. He was on a live stream. I forgot whose it was. And it was funny. I stumbled upon it Like somebody sent me the link. I clicked the link and he was talking about me as soon as I got on there. He said, I saw Mr. Lucario in Brooklyn holding hands with some 300-pound woman. Right. So this is what I'm talking about, where things are being said, but it's not real. You see what I'm saying? And then so what happens is that people just say shit just to hate, but they're not being real. So then if you're saying things just to hate and you're lying, then I can't really respect you. And then so why should I grant you the same respect or the respect you're asking from me? You see what I'm saying? Right. So you know what I mean? I did a interview the other day, and literally right after the interview, the interviewer and all his friends did like a 2-hour interview talking shit about me after the interview. That's crazy. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I'm talking about. When these spaces, you have guys masquerading around like men, but they act like children. And that's what I don't like to fuck with.
And that's what I just mentioned earlier.
Right.
When the spectators jump in, like for example, like, yes, I saw Auston's vid, get mad clout, especially when O'Shea, dropped the clip on him when he's talking and everything. But it's interesting because somebody like myself, it's not gonna come over to Auston and just be like, really, bruh, you young and yada yada yada. Nah. I'm gonna go ahead and respect that brother's platform, respect his opinion. You do you. But it's interesting how you have these cats like this who troll in the chat room. See, they come over to our shit. Mm-hmm. We don't go over their shit. They come over to our shit. That's the thing. Like you said, they will go ahead and make podcasts and they talk. Yeah, somebody talked about me too and shit. Mm-hmm. But it's like, yo, and I just want to go ahead. I'm going to take the time to go ahead and congratulate Auston because, yeah, your body count, not sex, your body count as far as subscribers go, they snowballed. And the thing is, somebody like myself, just why Lucario was at. And it's interesting because you guys both have a count where I would love to be on some authentic shit. Auston, you was authentic with your shit. Lucario, we already know how you get down. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting how Auston really ain't, saying no shit about Lucario, and Lucario ain't saying no shit. It's like, yeah, maybe he probably did a reaction video or whatever. But you see, how is it that all of us right here can pretty much maintain a dope ass frame, but everybody in the chat over here looking fucking juvenile and stupid? That's exactly what I'm talking about here. Mm-hmm. That shit don't make no sense to me whatsoever. If it's anything, I hollered at Auston. I believe I DM'd you and asked you about, this platform and everything. And the rest was it. It was like, okay, cool. I'm supposed to hit up King. It was done. I couldn't wait to get up on this shit because we black. And I can't wait to talk to my brothers about this shit. And this is how we go down. It's like, nigga, this ain't 21 convention. There ain't gonna be no beef here. It's like we all disagree and we can agree. Right. But look at your chat. Not just your chat. I don't know if it's probably streaming from Lucario's, but it's like, look at the chat. This is what I'm talking about. And my thing is this: y'all can go ahead and hoorah and passport bros up. Yeah, y'all could do that. But my thing is this: what's the difference between going ahead and giving props to the passport bros for getting hoes and the white boy who dated 50 white girls in all 50 states? He didn't even leave the country. He picked up a baddie in each damn state. Y'all remember that shit? Mm-hmm. And most people got mad. So my thing is this: he stayed in pool. I pulled in like Miami. I was happy about that shit because that shit was hard. You know what I mean? Way before I was married. But it's like I was happy about that shit. It was cool. But it's like, damn. The funny thing is, I never thought about completely leaving overseas. I just thought about, okay, maybe I should try Atlanta. Maybe I should try Houston. Which is not too far from you, right, Auston?
Not too far. I've been there though.
Yeah, Houston, I loved it. I Houston is what made me settle down because it was too goddamn easy out there. I had to chill before I got out. So, but it was marvelous out there in Houston. You know what I mean? But then I got married. It's like Chicago and New York was on the list, but your boy got married and shit. But this is what I'm talking about right here. There is just can be like no prompts. They want to see receipts come from everybody. Auston, let me see the hoes you be chopping it up with out there in Colombia. Lucario, where are your receipts? Yeah. It's like everything is receipt. When usually back in the day, you could just look at somebody and you could just tell, you could just see the energy of the game. Like when Kevin Samuels morphed into average at best, because I remember when he was iPhone 7 cameo salmons, suit Saturdays and colognes and shit. But when he started chopping it up with the women, the boys all trimmed up and shit in 3-piece suits and shit. You saw the game on him. Then motherfuckers got mad and started questioning his sexuality. But that's how you know you got game, when people want to call you gay. But look at that shit. The spectatorship. It's like, you don't have to give props, but just sit back and just take a look at what you're speaking about. What makes you think Lucario ain't about it? What makes you think Auston ain't about it? What makes you think King ain't about it? Same thing goes with me. I'm married with kids. What am I even doing here up on this shit? Well, I had to date in order to get married. So obviously we all did something right at some point. But I just wanted to go ahead and throw it out there. It's like the chat, chill out, calm the fuck down. Some of y'all in the chat, go ahead and tell everybody else to calm the fuck down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I put a post earlier. Just make sure that you guys are keeping it respectful in the chat. Like, if we're all up here able to have a respectful dialogue, you guys should be able to have a respectful dialogue in the chat. I'm not able to catch everything because I'm listening intently to what you brothers are saying. But there are some things in the chat where I'm just like, all right, you guys, taking it a little too far, man.
Yeah, grow up.
Exactly. So you mentioned Reese, like how a brother would travel, or like the brother who traveled all 50 states was able to pull a woman in each state or whatever, and then there's a guy who travels, right? So what I would say is this, right? Is that do you think that part of, and I'll actually start with you, Auston. Do you think that part of men traveling overseas is offensive to people who don't travel or who are unable to travel? Do they think that we're taking a cheat code?
No, because it costs more. I mean, just because you travel overseas doesn't mean you're guaranteed. You do still have to have some level of red pill or physical appearance. I mean, you can't be some 400-pound dude and think you're going to go to Utopia just because you go to Colombia or Brazil. Those chicks are fit, so they probably not going to go for you just because of that. I don't think it's a cheat code.
Right. But okay, so let me rephrase the question. Do you think that they think that it's a cheat code?
They make it sound like it, but I mean, in order for you to be able to take off a month, 2 months total out of a year, you have to build yourself up in order to be able to do that. The average person making 50 grand can't take 8 weeks off a year from work.
Right. Yeah, and that's where I completely agree with, because I've been on some platform, and some of the people who are against brothers traveling or have the negative misconception with traveling, saying that brothers are quote unquote dusty, desperate, whatever the case is. You have to be a man of means. You have to be a man of means to be able to travel and move around, especially if it's 6 to 8 times or even for years at a time, whatever the case is. You have to have some resources. You have to have something about you, long story short, and able to do that. So I don't understand why they would say brothers are desperate or dusty or whatever the case is. To me, that doesn't make sense. And Reese, I'll kick it back to you before I go to you, Lucario.
On Reese?
Yes, Reese.
Oh, what's up? Sorry.
I wanted you to give your feedback on what Auston and I have said in reference to what people think about the travel bros, what's perceived about them.
All right, now the thing is this. Well, for one, they're starting to look like the bullies, because even when I did my homework, on other platforms, the chat can say whatever they want. The quote unquote travel bros. And the reason why I'm saying quote unquote, because they repping that shit like it's the gang, like it's warriors and shit. They drew first blood, and I've seen it. I've been doing my homework. I have not, I chop it up with all the coaches and all the authors. None of them have even mentioned judgment on traveling overseas. But yes, I have heard dated shit about how dating coaches are becoming obsolete. Get your passports and yada yada, way before Lucario even made his track, way before anybody done put anything out about the passport community. So the thing is this: dating coaches didn't even know what the hell happened until shit probably hit their discovery feed in YouTube. Like, whoa, wait a minute, And then their name popped up, and it's like, oh, whoa. And the thing is this, they're not even really insulted by this shit because they're still getting clientele. Lucario's not hurting, EO's not hurting, Affy's not hurting, none of the coaches are hurting. So when folks are talking about, Passport Bros are 10,000 strong, no one really knows what that is unless they get up on YouTube. They don't. So there's really cats out there who's pretty much still been hollering at dating coaches, either for advice or out of for coaching, regardless. Some of them are even trying to get coaching before they do go overseas just so they can get their mouthpiece correct and shit. Like, the traveling community does not hurt the sales of Mode 1. It doesn't hurt the sales of how to have sex with 2 women a day. It doesn't hurt the sales of Rom's books. It doesn't. It never will, because coaches have already been here. What, Lucario, you got like over a decade on the shit?
Yeah,
It's so when it comes to like the traveling community and everything, the uproar, I only heard it within like the last 4 months. I did not hear about any of this until like recently, now. And actually, excuse me, and to give the benefit of the doubt, to the quote unquote Passport Bros, I even want to throw this question on Auston, and to give the benefit of the doubt. So when cats do go overseas and they think they are actually pulling a woman over in Colombia organically, and is it possible that the girl just ended up doing a bait and switch? If we go to your room, just giving a heads up, it's $40 if you want to smash. They thought they were actually pulling his chicks with a mouthpiece, but they had no idea. So I just want to, ask that to Auston. Has that happened to many men who've been overseas the first time? They thought they were using game, but they had no idea that they were hollering at a working girl.
I've got at a working girl and I didn't know, but we didn't make it all the way back to the room. I think they're pretty upfront with that.
Oh, okay.
I got at her and probably within maybe the third text, she told me the price, and I was like, "Oh shit, I didn't know you was a prostitute."
Oh wow!
But I was not enough to get all the way back to the room.
Yeah, see, that's what I was wondering, because I know some of these cats get over there, like you said. I'm not trying to bang on anybody, but the ones that normally know, they don't pull anybody who looking like Selma Hayek or whatever, and all of a sudden they cockeye and kicking with this woman, and then hey, they like, yo, I think I'm about to score with this beautiful woman right here. And then next thing you know, this is the price. And it's like, oh, that's it? Okay, fuck it. Let's go to the room.
I want to say something real quick. I think, the thing that's annoying to me a lot of times with all this stuff is that there's just a lot of, again, like I'm saying, there's a lot of propaganda, misinformation, and people just saying stuff just to put out certain narratives. Like, for example, people say, when people talking about receipts, see, and this is the thing that people don't understand. If y'all are paying attention, right, which most people don't pay attention, but if you were paying attention, you would see the receipts. Meaning that on my ring, on my finger, this is a wedding ring. My girlfriend is in the chat of damn near every live stream that I do. She's in the chat right now, right? Basically, when you watch my shows, you'll hear guys call up and talk about how being on my program changed their life. So all the receipts are there. You see what I'm saying? But as far as me getting with other chicks and posting them on fucking YouTube and all that other stuff, that actually goes against what I teach. Because what I teach when it comes to game is about discretion. And so a lot of guys don't understand discretion, because when you're dealing with women who have substance, you have to be discreet. So if I'm talking to a woman who's a lawyer or a doctor, or who has some sort of position in her life, or she might have things going on, I'm not going to say, hey guys, look at this girl I fucked in the ass yesterday and put her picture up on YouTube. I'm not going to do that because I'm not stupid. You see what I'm saying? Because that's going to affect her, but then it's also going to affect me when I'm doing what I'm doing, right? Now, on top of that, another propaganda thing people are saying, they're like, oh, the dating coaches, they're mad at Passport Bros, which we're not. We don't care. But they say the dating coaches are mad at Passport Bros because they're taking away their money and they're losing money. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not gonna tell you how much I make, but I'll say this. I make enough money to where I can work one day. Now, scratch, I can work half a day a month and basically maintain the amount of money I'm making. So one day a month I could work. Like, I don't have to work all month if I don't want to. You see what I'm saying? That's how much money I'm making. But I'm just trying to put that out there to let you guys know that people actually want the information because they actually want to learn how to improve their lives when it comes to dating and relationships and stuff like that.
I got you. So okay, I just kind of wanted to just go back to you, Reese, right? So when you ask Austin that question, when you think that it's like an organic woman or whatever the case is, that the next thing you know, she kind of does a 180 and says, "Oh, like you got to pay whatever." Has that happened? Sure, but I would also say that happens in the States a lot. Like I have a lot of family in Miami. And I've been down to South Beach where I'm hanging out with a girl, talking to a girl or whatever, and she tries to hit me with the finesse, but I know the finesse is coming. So it's like, so I would say that it actually more happens in the States than outside of the States, because outside of the States, usually the woman is going to be telling you up front, right? Like, hey, it costs this much or whatever the case is. Also, they're usually in areas where red light district areas, if you will. So if you're in that hot spot, then 9 times out of 10. But if you're in a spot where it's not that, then you're gonna get a regular girl. So basically, what I'm saying is, if you put yourself in that position, you're typically getting what you're asking for.
Mm.
So I think what everybody's talking about, I think they want us to debate the original videos from when I first came out that Lucario made.
Mm. Go ahead, Austin.
Well, I mean, I never.
I forgot what was in the specific video. What was said in the video?
The video about me, the reasons why I left the United States to date. I think people want us to watch that video and then debate it.
Oh, because all I remember was shit. What happened in that video? I remember. Well, this is one of the points I wanted to make too, because I remember you was saying that you was having trouble getting certain women out here and all this other stuff. And what I did was because people were like, well, Auston Holleman is not a bad looking guy. So I was saying, well, if Auston Holleman is not a bad looking guy and he's having trouble getting women, then it's not all about looks. So I was using that as a point to teach people. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I try to explain to people is that I'm not sitting here. I never went on my thing and say, man, fuck Auston and fuck that motherfucker. Like none of that. Right. I was critiquing like I critique all the people on my channel. I got hundreds of videos of critiques of different people. You see what I'm saying? Even for example, the last critique I did was with this white dude named Michael Sartan, and he was with Rollo Tomasi. And I critiqued the video where they were talking about game. And I said, okay, the stuff that they were talking about, I disagree with because this, and this. Then the dude Michael hit me up and he said, hey, let's do a video together. He was like, I like the fact that you were respectful in your critique. You see what I'm saying? And then me and him did a video and now we're cool and we're working together. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I'm saying, where people got to recognize what's actually happening instead of actually trying to hate. You see what I'm saying? Instead of bringing a whole bunch of hate and nonsense to the situation. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. I haven't seen the video. Can we pull up the video? Can you pull up the video?
You mind if I ask Austin something real quick?
This video, it's like an hour and a half or something like that.
Oh yeah, no, never mind. Okay,
yeah. Can I ask Austin something?
Oh yeah, sure, man. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, so brother Austin, because the thing is, when you do a stream or when you do a video pre-recorded and then you post it, anybody can perceive it as whatever they want because they really don't know what happened. This could be content, or it could just be like, oh, this is really what it was like. So I do want to ask you, because you're still in Texas, right? I'm not trying to give out your location. Don't y'all be trying to fuck with brother Austin. You got to answer to me. But anyways, but the thing is, Austin has a lot of I got some baddies out there. Like I said, I was over in Houston and Dallas, and I couldn't contain myself. But the thing is, from what I've saw from doing some homework, you yourself, even though at your age, it's a numbers game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the thing is, when I was kind of like, I don't want to say I was studying you, but I was kind of studying you. You don't seem like somebody that was really so too pissed off. It don't even seem like you felt defeated. You just exercised the option to go overseas because you kind of felt like, hey, the experiences over here was kind of a little bit better and shit. But when you're over here in the States, do you really, really, really have a hard time bagging women?
I mean, I think it's because I have a certain level of bullshit I'm willing to put up with.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's that I want you to explain that to everybody here because I kind of feel like you're misunderstood.
Well, the thing is, the fact that in this country we have dating coaches means that there's too much of a strategy, and I'm not dealing with that shit, man. I mean, the passport bros, all we doing is telling dudes that they can go there. You don't have to. We don't need to tell you how to deal. I mean, you just can't be a dumbass about it. I mean, don't go over there with lust for glasses instead of your regular eyeballs.
Right. And so right now, so when you pretty much let's just say cold approach, women in here. So are you getting pushback? Are you getting a number and they're just not responding and you just go to the next one, or are you pretty much just like, you know what, I'm just cool. Did you just fully just give up? I know you made a video one time, you said you got back to the airport. You saw some white girl that was kind of jocking, but you was like, you didn't care about that shit because you literally just touched down back. But honestly, if you got choosing signals from a woman that looked like she was feeling you, are you not pursuing that?
No.
Oh, so you're done with American women?
Yeah, I'm leaving in less than 5 days, and I don't have a return ticket.
Oh, okay. No, that was it.
The thing is, I mean, choosing signals don't mean shit either. I've gotten choosing signals just to get rejected.
Yeah, see, and that's another. See, that's why I'm glad we're all here talking. No, I'm glad we're all here talking about that shit because we've all got the choosing signals. We all got rejected, and then we all just moved on to the next. And the thing is, yeah, I can go ahead and grab a passport too. Well, I'm married now, but back then I could have too. But I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna go to Scottsdale. Let's see what's popping out there. I'm gonna go to LA. I'm gonna see what's popping out there. And yeah, the environment changed. So that kind of lets me know if I had no problem pulling out here in the States, I need to stay the fuck out of the other countries. I need to keep my ass here because I don't know what I'm gonna do overseas. But I just really wanted to know that because honestly, it's like when I just look at you, it's like I kind of have a feeling like if me and him had a night out, we'd be dangerous. I just kind of feel like that. Like if it was like me, you, and Lucario King, I kind of feel like we would turn the fuck up.
We would. So I just want to chime in here because I know he was talking to you, Austin, but I just want to chime in here. Like, yeah, we would definitely have a great night, what have you. See, the problem is that most men who are traveling now, the problem is that not getting the woman. It's about keeping the woman because their hypergamy is just such at a level 10. Now, women worldwide are hypergamous no matter what, right? But the thing about it is that you have the hypergamous, then you have the attitude, the pushback. So it's like, okay, you know what? I can take a little bit of hypergamy, but if she's willing to give me peace, then I'm willing to fly over there and have that, right? Because you mentioned Houston, LA, New York, where I'm from, Miami, beautiful woman, for sure. Definitely gonna have a great time, right? But if we say, hey, you know what, we're gonna go to Kenya. We're gonna go to Kenya, the motherland. Man, listen, we can get 4 or 5 women and have them rocking with us for years, as opposed to spending $4,000 or $5,000 having a woman maybe rock out with us for a week. I'm only speculating, but what I'm getting at is that it's a short-term answer, but we like long-term solutions.
Oh, I'll say this. The thing is that, see, the problem is that different guys experience different shit.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's really what it boils down to. So some guys, the same thing, the same piece, the same type of cooperation, the same situation where women are not playing games. Guys in America, in the West, are experiencing that right now as we speak. So the same women who might have an attitude with you is going to not have an attitude with another guy. The same woman who's going to give you pushback is not going to give another guy pushback. So a lot of it has to do with the specific dude and also the women that he's dealing with. So what happens is that if a woman has an attitude, that doesn't mean she has an attitude with every guy. She has an attitude with men she's not attracted to. If she's attracted to a man, she's cooperative. That's how it works. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is that, hey, if you feel like, well, I'm getting a lot of attitude from these women, so I'm gonna go do my thing over there, that's cool. But understand that it's not necessarily that the women here just have attitudes, because guess what? The women here are getting dick. And so that means guys are having sex. So that means that there are certain guys that aren't getting the attitude. You see what I'm saying? That's how it works.
Right.
Because I don't get that.
Oh, my fault. Go ahead, Austin.
Now, I've slept with plenty of chicks that had an attitude though. They were just bitches. That was just them though.
Right, but also but that's true, and
That's
also,
a fact.
That's a fact. And also, those same women who had an attitude, there were other guys who slept with them, but they didn't have attitude with those guys. That's what I'm saying. Like a woman could still, she's going to choose who she has attitude with. You understand what I'm saying? So what happens is a woman can still have attitude with you, and you can still smash. But understand, the more attracted she is, the more cooperative she's going to be. So what happens is you can still interact with a woman and flirt with her and seduce her in order to get sex. That just means that that woman who has an attitude has medium interest in you. But usually when a woman has high interest in you, she's giving you zero attitude because she doesn't want to fucking mess it up. You see what I'm saying? That's how it works.
No, I gotta, man, and Lucario, like, I feel like I'm attacking you, but no, it's not attacking your points, but it's just that, like, I have to chime in here on that one, because the reason why I say this is because, like, what Austin said, like, you know, you've gotten a woman, they've had attitudes, whatever the case is, right? And their attitude just won't change. And it's also about maybe the environment of you know, of who they're around. Like, so if you have women that have you know, girlfriends that have attitudes, or you know, they stuck up females, whatever, they tend to act like that. Or women think that they have a lot more options. So that's, like, I understand what you're saying, right? Because at one point, where this is where I agree, if a woman is giving you an attitude, for the most part, maybe it's something about you that she's not completely attracted to. On the other hand, right, you have the Western culture that gives, you know, makes that inflates the woman's ego to a sense to where she is not she's not really living in the reality. So there's that part, right? And so for Austin and I, for brothers who travel, like, we're saying, like, okay, have a little attitude, it's all right. But if you got a big attitude and you think like your shit don't stink, like, we out of here.
No, I understand what you're saying, but that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is her attitude. Like, if you have a girl named, you know, Sandra or something, Sandra, let's say, for example, I'm trying to holler at her, and then she give me attitude, and then she go to you, Candy, and then she's super nice, cooperative, smiling, asking you, hey, do you want something? Like, she's being very, very polite and submissive to you because she may have more attraction for you than me. So her attitude is going to be directly correlated to her attraction to the man. So the thing is this, and shout out to my dude, Mr. Limba Channel. He said a woman is going to either listen to her man or society. So what happens is that if the society is causing her to be influenced to have a certain attitude when dealing with men, because she's dealing with a lot of men she's not interested in, right? What happens is when she meets the guy she's extremely attracted to, her attitude will switch and change. This is why, for example, you have a lot of black guys who will say, man, these black women got attitude problems. But isn't it interesting when they get around a white boy, they're very polite and pleasant, and some of these white boys are getting them easily because when they're dealing with that particular white boy, they shift their attitude and their energy. You see what I'm saying? When women are at work, their attitude ain't the same with their boss, right? Because they shift their attitude based off the situation and the circumstance. So this is what I'm trying to say, where it's not a problem with the specific woman. It's just really the woman that you're dealing with and how y'all two are interacting with each other. So a lot of times when you put it on the women as a whole, then you take yourself out of the equation. And then you don't look at what you're doing in the equation in order to get that type of response in general. Because the thing is this, like I said, guys experience different stuff. When I deal with women, right, I don't get no attitude from women because I don't deal with women who give me attitude. So what that means is that when I first talk to a woman, right, I'm not trying to get with her or holler at her or continue to chase her or whatever it is if she's not showing any interest from the jump. When she's showing interest from the jump, that's when I interact with her and I give her more attention and I actually do shit with her. You see what I'm saying?
I think we should do this. I think me and Lucario should just debate. I want you to debate my points that you disagree with.
Okay, what's the points?
I don't know. You made a few videos about me, so you got some points.
Y'all done made me drink.
I probably have to see the video though, because I don't remember exactly what you're saying. Because I just go off the video and what's going on in the video. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'll say one thing. Well, because you saying that like it's that bad in America, right? So this is the thing. Like I said, if it's that bad, how are these women getting sex?
They're women. They can get sex.
Right. So who are they having sex with?
Top, what is it, 17%? There's 17% of men, I think it is, that's getting 70% of the women pregnant, right?
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is it if certain guys are getting sex, right? That means that those guys know what it is to get it. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is that if it was that bad, then nobody would be fucking. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, Kevin Samuels proved to us that all these women are shooting for the stars. So men in the lower and middle class are getting overlooked, and they're the ones taking most of the games.
You're saying that most of those guys are getting like games played on them?
Well, I mean, you got average at best and below women calling in the Kevin Samuels show talking about they need $200,000 and $300,000 $200,000 and $300,000 from a man. No, a dude that's making $80,000. How are they going to treat him? They're not fucking him.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Do women say they want nice guys?
They say a lot of things that they really don't mean. Exactly.
So why are we worried about what these women are saying on Kevin Samuels? They're saying a lot of things they don't mean. That's what you see what I'm saying? So like Kevin Samuels stuff, they're saying shit, but they don't necessarily mean it, meaning they're just talking.
I think they mean that.
And those are all the undesirables anyway on the Kevin Samuels show. So we really can't use them as a good example.
But if the undesirables want that, that means we know for sure the bad bitches want it, right?
No, but this is what I'm saying. For example, most guys say they want a baddie, right? What happens is most guys aren't going to get a baddie because they don't got the type of game to get her and even keep her. So even though they say it, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen. So it's the same thing with women. Women, they'll say, oh, I want this guy, that guy, that guy. They can talk all day, but it don't mean it's going to happen. It don't mean they're going to get it. And it doesn't necessarily mean that because they're saying it, that's going to impact how you relate to that particular woman.
Well, let me ask you this. Does game take time to learn?
Yes, absolutely.
Does it take time to implement?
Yeah.
Okay, men with means and they have shit going don't have time to fuck around with bitches like that.
Right, but this is what you got to understand. You get what you pay for. So what happens is there's always going to be a balance. So if you don't put in time on yourself, what's going to happen is you're going to have to pay for the type of energy you want to receive back. If you put in time on yourself, the women are going to receive you a certain way. So you're going to be able to get women without having to put in any extras that's outside of yourself. So what happens is that I agree with you where if guys are dealing with these women, they're going to have to put in some time in order to make things happen. Now, how much that time is depends on the particular guy and his skill level, right? So what happens is some guys think tricking or giving money out is going to make it quicker to get a woman, right? But some guys who actually have game and who knows how to talk to women, flirt with them, and get them in that type of frame of mind, they can literally approach a woman at a club, pull her that night, and bring her back to the crib and smash and do whatever the hell they want to do. So all I'm saying is that, yes, it takes time, but what happens is that you got to pick your poison. So either you're going to take time to work on yourself so that you can get the results you want, by you doing you, or you're not going to do that and you're going to have to do things outside of yourself to get a surface level interaction with a woman. That's your only two choices.
Yeah, you might have I'll jump in. And Auston, when you were overseas, how long did it take you to bag a chick? Because the thing is, out here, maybe it took longer, but when you were out there, from what it looks like, you had no problem, and the time was smaller, wasn't it?
One same day to 1 day.
Yeah. So my thing is this: to me, I guess this is what it looks like. It's not really an overseas domestic thing. It's kind of basically just like a you and that woman thing. You experience overseas what I've experienced here my whole entire life.
Right.
So it's kind of a trip. So the thing is, it's really like you have, dude, I would love to be a fly on the wall to see what you do overseas, because maybe you're very magnetic. So maybe they pull up to you, or maybe you pull up to them, depending on the mood or whatever, but it don't take you long. The conversation is great. And I know the argument is going to be like, well, they're probably more feminine over there. They're more cooperative and yada, yada, yada. And then, of course, over here on the States, we'll be like, I've experienced that too. I experienced when I was here. I experienced when I was there. I experienced that shit when I was on a bicycle hollering at a chick, you know, who was up in a, you know, in a driver's seat at a traffic light. That's why we said like the you know, the experiences are mad different. But yeah.
So the difference is women here don't have as much clarity as women there. See,
they do. That's what's so true about this.
You can't convince me that you have clarity and then you want to play a game with me after I get your number.
But that's them.
That's that woman that you're dealing with.
No, because you sell games, so there must be some game.
Well, I don't sell games. Well, that's just experience.
That's what I'm trying to say. So what I'm saying is, what do you do when you realize a girl playing games?
I don't play games.
No, but I'm saying, like, you get her number, you try to holler at her, she's not returning your text. What do you do?
Next to bitch, I'm an adult.
Exactly. So that's the game right there. That's exactly what you're supposed to do.
The difference is in the States, all you're doing is nexting.
No, but this is what I'm saying. That happens depending on the type of guy you are. That's what I'm trying to say. Because when you go to Brazil, I'm sure every girl you talk to ain't just jumping on your shit. You might have to next a girl there. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that the better that you get at the game, the better that you get when it comes to you understanding yourself and get more confident. What you're going to recognize is you're going to have more women who are extremely cooperative, the same way those women in Brazil are. So what I'm saying is that if I can go down the block or down the street in my city and get the same exact type of cooperation, then I don't got to go nowhere. So what I'm saying is, if a guy can't get it, that's cool. He may have to go somewhere, which is fine. But understand that it's not the place you're at, it's the guy in the place. That's what I'm trying to say.
Sorry, Austin. No, go ahead and then I'll respond after you, Austin.
Well, the place that you're at has a certain culture, you know, and the culture here is we have to learn a game to get some pussy. You know what I'm saying? So over there, it's either I want to fuck you or I don't. And if I don't want to fuck you, I'm not giving you my phone number. That's how the women operate there.
No, because it's the same. This is what I'm saying. It's the same everywhere. You still need game because the reason why you're able to fuck those girls like how you're doing it in that place is because the men in that community, in that society, implemented a certain type of game in order to get their women in that type of level. So what happens is over here in the West, men have become so weak. This is why women generally start interacting with most guys with attitude and bullshit, because men over here, because they're weak, the women have become more masculine, and then therefore the guys are getting that type of energy. Whereas if you go to another culture, what's going to happen is that you're going to get a different type of energy in some cultures. Now, like I said earlier, society or their man. So no matter how much society has influenced the woman, when she's in front of a man who is a real dude, who she starts to be influenced by, he takes over what the culture is saying. So what I'm saying is that whatever she's been taught or whatever she feels like she's supposed to do, what happens is that she's so enamored with that man that she does what the man says. So this is why sometimes when women have been taught to say, oh, well, let me not have sex with him too quickly. I should make him wait or whatever. When she's with a guy who she's extremely sexually attracted to, she's like, fuck that. I know I shouldn't fuck him now because I maybe want him for a boyfriend, but I'm going to do him now because I can't take it. He's so sexy. He's so attractive. I want him and I'm going to do it now because she's so influenced by that guy. So nothing else matters except for what that guy is about to do to her. So this is what I'm saying, where depending on the specific guy, she is going to act and be a certain way to that particular guy. So this is why I say guys try. See, the problem is men, they don't understand how powerful they are and they don't understand their value. So when you don't understand your value, when you deal with women, they see you as powerless. They see you as having no value because you don't see yourself as having value. So this is why you're not getting those same type of experiences when you're dealing with women.
Okay, so you've been to Brazil.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me, you went to Rio.
Yeah, I went to Rio.
Okay, tell me what the experience was like there.
Yeah, Rio was cool. I went there. It was like 2006 or 7, something like that. Maybe it was between 2005 and 2007. So it was my first time going there. My dude Miles Cunningham, he went there before, and it was two of my other friends. So I go there.
Miles Cunningham, man.
Yeah,
I like him a lot.
Right. So they went there, and they was telling me about it. It was like, yo, you got to come down or whatever. Right. So I go down there, and we chilling and everything, and I'm talking to the women and all this other stuff. And so one of my boys was trying to smash this chick who was a prostitute, but she was with her friend. So then her friend didn't want to go unless like I went with her friend. So I was like, fuck it, we'll just go. So then when we went upstairs to the spot, he was doing his thing. I was doing my thing with the chick. And then so he paid the girl. So then I was like, all right, fuck it. Let me just pay this woman since she with her. I ain't want her to like, I ain't want to like rock the boat or whatever. So then after that, I think it was like 2 or 3 other chicks that I fucked. And those 2 or 3 other women were just random chicks that I smashed. You understand? And one of them was actually a prostitute and a chick who does porn, and I smashed her. I didn't pay her, and the other girl I didn't pay her. So it was just that one first girl that my boy had, wanted the friend to come through. And so, but the thing was this: the same way where I was getting ass in New York was the same way where I was getting ass in Brazil. So that's what I'm saying. It was the same shit to me. You see what I mean?
So would you say that your closing rate was higher in Brazil?
No, it was exactly the same. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, and I want to say this too. I noticed in the video that you made, you said that the women only treat the dudes that travel a certain type of way because we take them places that they couldn't afford by themselves, or they would never get that experience without a foreigner taking them to that expensive restaurant or club.
No, I didn't say that they're necessarily doing that because they can't do it. I'm saying that's part of it. That's part of the draw, is that it's the finances, it's the money. It's that, oh, well, you might have more than me, so therefore I'm going to deal with you because you have more of that. So when you get into that space, what happens is that you become the type of guy who's quote unquote higher value based off your finances. You see what I'm saying? Because you're an American, their assumption is that you have money. For example, when I was out there, I didn't know this. So the first time I got out there, I took a cab to the Airbnb. I got out the cab. It was a little kid, had to be like 4 or 5 years old. Comes out the cab, has his money out, because his hand out because he wants some money. I go into my wallet. I give this little kid $10. As soon as I'm giving the kid $10, 10 American dollars, my boys is coming out the Airbnb and they see me and they're like, "Yo, what are you doing?" And I said, "What's the big deal?" So right after that, after I gave that kid money, every time we went outside, there was a swarm of kids following us everywhere. You understand what I'm saying? Because they thought we was rich, because we from America, we got the American money and all that other stuff. So there's a certain air that comes with you being that American guy there. But the main draw is the finances. So women there, they're going to give you the girlfriend experience. They're going to, say certain things to you, just like when you're in the strip club. When you're in the strip club, they're going to be like, "Hey, let me give you a lap dance." They touch on you, make you feel good, because they want some that finances from you. That's how it works.
Yeah, but so that goes into what I had said. Women worldwide are hypergamous, right? So the thing is, like with men that are making a certain amount in the States, if you're an average man making $40,000 to $50,000 and you're able to travel outside of the States, that 40, 50,000 could look like 100,000. And yes, you're right. Not women may necessarily think that we are rich, but one of the things that I will say, especially a brother who's traveled to multiple countries, not only do they think that we are like well off, yes, so they know that they have security, but also it's also about our persona, how we carry ourselves, how we communicate with them. Right. So it's everything down the line. So they view us as that whole package of high value. So yes, the money is in it, but it's not just that one particular thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what
I'm able to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying that's the main thing though. So what I'm saying is that
that's the main thing. No matter where you go.
No, but it's not though. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I respectfully have to disagree, because the thing about it is, right? Because the thing about it is that usually now, if most men, both of you gentlemen, Reese and Lakari, both of you gentlemen are married, right? And I'm sure that you guys are, very, top earners, whatever the case is, or at least substantial earners, right? Now, the thing is that if you told your wives that you guys wanted her to be the substantial earner and didn't want to do anything, 9 times out of 10, that's not going to fly. It may fly with you guys per se, but if we were to ask, like, everyone that's in this chat room, there's 337 people. I'm going to say at least maybe 300 of them are men. And an overwhelming answer, men are going to say, no, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to say women are just particularly just greedy, but what I will say is that women want to make sure that they have a man that's going to be able to protect and provide, and being able to have money does come with that.
No, I agree with you on that aspect, but this is what I'm trying to explain to you. Women, there's 5 types of attraction a woman has for a man.
Right.
It's physical, sexual, behavioral, resource attraction, and friendship attraction. So what happens is that money is resource attraction, meaning they're attracted to you because of your money and your resources and stuff like that, right? What you have to understand is sexual attraction is the most powerful attraction. You understand? So what I'm saying, this is why a woman can have a husband and she will cheat on her husband who's making 6 figures with a bum. You understand what I'm saying? She will go have sex with a bum even though her husband has 6 figures. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
but she's not going to leave him though.
No, but sometimes they do. This is what you got to understand. Sometimes what happens is the side dude has to tell the woman not to leave her man. Ask me how I know. You see what I'm saying? So what happens is that when that woman is dealing with that guy who don't got money, right? And she's sexually attracted to him and she's all in love with this dude, right? She wants to leave her husband who she's just using for money. Then I said using on purpose. She's using him for money because that's the draw. Now, what women generally want is a guy they're sexually attracted to and has resources. That's like the perfect nigga. That's the perfect dude. If you're sexually attractive to a woman and you have resources, you're the perfect guy. The problem is that women can either get one or the other. They get a guy who they're sexually attracted to, but he ain't about shit. So he can never be in a relationship with her. He's inconsistent, whatever. Or she gets a guy who has resources, but he's not that sexually attractive. You see what I'm saying? So what happens is that most women, what they do is they settle for a guy who has resources, even though they want a guy who they're sexually attracted to and has resources. You understand? Like, for example, there was a guy who did a speech. He asked the audience, he said, hey, do dogs like bones? The audience said yes. He said, no, dogs like steak. They settle for bones. So women like guys they're sexually attracted to and have resources, but they'll settle for a guy who has resources. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So would you say that I just want to know, yes or no, is there a difference between foreign women and American women?
A difference in how? What do you mean?
Just like generally, would you say that they're the same? Because a lot of people say that women are the same everywhere.
Oh yeah, women are the same everywhere in the sense of them being women, them being, having the same type of feminine type of like vibes that they're going to have. This like everywhere. It's basically everywhere.
Okay, so what exactly is your disagreement with some of my points? Like, what are a few disagreements? I still haven't heard that one.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I don't have any disagreements except for guys who are saying tricking is like being a player. That was my whole disagreement with this whole thing. I said I don't care what guys going overseas are doing and tricking and all that stuff. My whole disagreement is when a person, like for example, dudes is like, well, we got receipts. How you going to have receipts if you paying for the woman? That's not a receipt. You understand what I'm saying? You're paying for the girl, so that's like if a person is baking cookies from scratch, right? And then they show the process and they film it, that's a receipt. But if I order cookies on DoorDash and I take a picture of it, that's not a receipt. You see what I'm saying? Because I didn't put any skill into getting what I got. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I know the 2 reaction videos you did, it didn't sound like you agreed with about anything that I said.
I got to see the specific things because like a lot of like one of the things that, again, like I was saying, where you were saying that it's that bad out here. I totally disagree with that. What I'm saying is that it's that bad for the particular guy. So whenever you are talking about a woman, you have to add with me at the end of the sentence. This girl has an attitude with me. These Western women are fucked up with me. You see what I'm saying? Like it has to be the person. It's not them just being like that. You see what I'm saying? That's what I disagree with.
So
well, if there's an overwhelming amount of men saying the same things, I mean, it has to somewhat be true in a sense, right?
But what's the overwhelming amount, though? That's the thing. I mean, when you just hear people, complaining or commenting, negatively on YouTube in a comment section, that's not overwhelming.
Right.
That's 200. That's my thing. You know what I mean? So I can attest to that. So like with Auston, it's like I said, it's like if all 4 of us just had a night out in town in LA or something, the experience will probably be mad different because we'll probably be like having like some crazy positive energy, hollering at a bunch of chicks or whatever, even though we married or whatever, but we'll just be having a good time socializing, and the come up will be different. But Auston can also understand, like, yeah, he probably had a hard time in this aspect, but he probably knows another guy next door who's not having a hard time, who's been having like everybody has a drought season once in a while. It happens. It's a lottery. It is. It's a numbers game at the end of the day. Just like when you move overseas, there may be a possibility where you're going to have an off night. Yeah, you'll maybe have some girls here and there, but those girls are going to run into some other guys too who are visiting, or some guys who are migrating from the States. You're not going to be like, okay, these bitches over here are whack. You're going to be like, it's a numbers game. Let me go out and try again, when I got the time or whatever. I just look at it as like that. It's like when you get over there, I'll even ask you this, Auston. If you knew a guy who was having like a drought season out there, how would you tell him to pull chicks? What advice would you give him if he was having dating trouble?
It is a numbers game, right? That's what you're saying. But the thing is, the numbers are not worth it here.
And see, that's the thing. Anyone else, and just for to give it up to the chat, I got married in 2013 before you motherfuckers be like, well, you've been married for hella years. I got married before Instagram and all that shit started popping. So I actually had to go out. I couldn't DM nobody. But that's the thing. I really didn't have, and my experience is different than yours, just like the next time. And I heard it. I would know it. And I said that too. I was just like that, where I was just like, nah, it's like, I used to live in San Jose, California. The nickname is Man Jose. There was literally nothing to pull out there in San Jose. But when I moved over to Houston, Texas, the game there changed. And then, of course, 4 hours, I went to Dallas. The game there changed. Then I went to Atlanta, and I didn't even know. This was my bad, and I know y'all gonna clown. I did not even know that New Orleans was damn near right next to freaking, Houston, like 6 hours. So I probably could have went down there for Mardi Gras and have fun down there and everything. But
and real quick, I want to say in the comment section, these dudes are like, you lying because Airbnb didn't come out until this. It wasn't a hotel. I went to a place that was a house. I stayed there. So what you got to understand is that Airbnb is the main thing. That's like the popular fucking name. Just like you understand.
Lucario, I'm mad that you even took that bait. Leave him alone.
Nah, I'm just like he's goofy with it. I'm like, bro,
it is goofy.
I was not in the hotel. That's all I'm saying.
Because they're trying to take a personal shot at anything, But I want Auston to continue, like with his questions and everything. But go ahead, Auston. Go ahead. I'm enjoying this. I like this.
I forgot. We be going on for so long. I
because this is all funny. But all I'm saying is like, you remember? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, bro.
So again, I moved. My other Dallas is horrible for me to try to pull women at. I mean, I can get them right, but it's so many. It's fucking exhausting. I go to Auston. It's better. I thought I was winning when I had like a 50% increase in Auston. Like, okay, I'm doubling up. Mm-hmm. But then I go to Rio and that shit doesn't compare. It doesn't compare. Like it didn't compare so much when I came back. I wasn't even fucking when I got back. I said, I'll wait till I get out of town again.
I heard that.
Because I realized how much time I was wasting. I'm like, okay, if I approach 10 chicks in Rio, I can get 8 numbers and I'll see 8 of them again. You approach 10 chicks here, you might get 2 numbers. No, let's say you get 8 numbers. 2 of them motherfuckers gonna text you back, and then one of them gonna flake, and then another one's gonna flake, and then she gonna come back later on and try to reschedule, and then she might be ready to fuck the second time. But who wants to go through all that? That's why I said, like, I have shit I do on a daily basis. I ain't got time to play with a bitch.
I heard that.
No, I agree. You shouldn't play with no chicks like that. But that's the point is that. See, if you're out here, because you're saying, well, I'll get 2 out of 10 here, but I get 8 out of 10 there, right? What you got to understand is that the 2 out of 10 you get in here is most likely because they like you. The 8 out of 10 you get in there is because they like your money. Generally, that's all I'm saying. So it's a different thing.
You believe that?
No, it's true. That's what I'm saying. Like unless you're over here flaunting money and in that situation, then it would be different. But what I'm saying is generally over here, if you're in America and you're an American and you're talking to an American chick and she's fucking with you. She's fucking with you because of you. You understand what I'm saying? Unless you showing that you're trying to trick and pop bottles. You understand? If you're just talking and having a conversation, 9 times out of 10, she fucking with you for you. If you over there and you're an American, as soon as you're American, generally it's like, oh, well, you're an American. So my mindset is, oh, let me go get this from this American guy. That's all I'm saying. Different.
Hey, hold up.
That's not necessarily true, though.
Hold up,
I think that's the same thing here, though.
Kings.
Oh, my fault. Yeah, go ahead, Reese.
How many people in your chat?
361.
How many likes you got?
Hold on.
Because the thing is, I see people in the chat talking about they wish they can donate. Nate, they can hit those like buttons.
Yeah, I have 139 likes, and if you want to donate, my Cash App is scrolling at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, get some more of them like. Them likes should be in the 300. I'm just saying, but go ahead.
I know, absolutely. You're definitely right. Definitely make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Good call out, Reese.
I think that's the same game we play here in the States, is that, they're looking, oh, let me get this. He has money. Let me get this from him. I think you're not going to be able to get away from that.
No, but this is what I'm saying. If she is seeing you like that because of how you're presenting yourself, then yes, you're not going to get away from that. So meaning if you go up to a girl in a bar and you say, hey, let me buy you a drink, right? You're starting out with money, just like how you would be starting out with money if you was overseas, taking a girl out to eat and all that other stuff to try to fuck. So what I'm saying is that how you're showing up in a situation is how the girl's going to treat you. So if you're showing up, starting with your wallet, leading with your wallet, then what's going to happen is that she's going to look at you that way. So generally, if you're an American going overseas and you're out there, they assume you're already leading with your wallet.
So I don't leave with my wallet anywhere, right? But they don't even think I'm American when I'm in Brazil.
Yeah, that's true, because they have a lot of melanin there. So you go over there, they actually think that you are Brazilian. Until you actually speak, then they'll know that, okay, he's from.
When you speak, then they say, oh, I thought you were Brazilian, but
yep.
Right, and then that's when they know that you're not. That's what I'm saying.
But the thing is that I can speak Portuguese too, so they won't know until I tell them. But so what if they think that I'm Brazilian? What are they? Why are they being so genuine before that?
No, but what I'm saying is they can tell you're not Brazilian because
that's not what they say.
Even the way you don't speak fluent Portuguese, do you?
I do.
Go ahead, say a whole paragraph.
Olá, como estás? Estou de Estados Unidos. Eu moro em Dallas, Texas. Eu venho ao Brasil 3 meses. Por 3 meses.
Keep going.
Próxima semana. Next week.
Keep going.
Próxima semana eu voltei em Rio de Janeiro. Eu vou a Salvador, Bahia, Brazil.
Right, that's what I'm saying. This what I'm saying. You sound like somebody that's learning Portuguese. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's just like when a person comes to America and they speak English, and you can tell they're still learning, or their English isn't all the way. They can tell they're not from here. That's what I'm saying.
The thing is, it still doesn't prove the point, because that's not what they say.
What do you mean that's not what they say?
They still say, like, I'm surprised you were American. I thought you were Brazilian. I mean, why would they just volunteer a lie like that?
No, what I'm saying is this is what you're not getting. What you're not getting is that when a woman, right? See, women have game too.
The reason I was probably pausing is because you got me talking about some shit that it has nothing to do with nothing in another language. Now, if I'm approaching a woman, I know exactly what I want to say. Like if I want to say, hey, I want to meet you, or I want to get to know you, eu quero conhecer você. There's no pause. But you just asking me to elaborate just in thin air. That's like just put me on a podium and say, speak. I'm not going to just speak fast. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. You just said speak.
Right. But what I'm saying is the way that you speak in a certain language will tell the person who hasn't been speaking that language for all their life whether or not you speak that language.
Well, accents are in the United States too. You know, I have a Texas accent. Somebody might have a New York accent.
No, accents is different. What I'm saying is that I'm saying that the way that you're speaking, as far as the speed and how comfortable you are saying your words, will show a person what it is. So that's what I'm saying. So when
That's what I just said.
right. So what I'm saying is when a woman is talking to you, right, and she realizes or recognizes how you're coming at her, that can change how she's going to come at you. So what I'm saying is just like, for example, if I see a woman across the room, right, and she's checking me out, and I go up to her and I say, hey, can I buy you a drink? Right. As soon as I say that, she's like, this woman could be like, oh, so he has money. Let me try to use him for this. But if I go up to her and say, hey, what's up? How you doing? What's your name? And we just start talking regular, and I'm not saying anything about buying nothing or pulling out the wallet or nothing, then it's going to be a different situation in how she's going to receive me. So what I'm saying is the way that you're coming at them and the way that they perceive you can change how they're going to come at you. That's all I'm saying.
So what way do you think I'm coming at them?
No, what I'm saying is that the way you're coming at them and you're interacting with them, they can tell that you're not from there. And then because you're not from there, they're going to act differently towards you. So
well, it sounds like you know what my approach is, though.
No, I'm saying the fact that you're American, they're going to come at you a certain way when they see that. That's all I'm saying. So that's all I'm saying.
So, yeah, but how do they? So okay, so what you're saying is how he speaks Portuguese. He doesn't sound like he's Brazilian. Is that what you're trying to infer?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And so now that they know that, that's going to make them see him differently, which is going to make them come at him a different way. That's what I'm trying to say.
But how would they automatically assume that he's American? Like, okay, because like because they may hear an accent that may not necessarily sound Brazilian, but they don't necessarily know that he's American.
But see, that's how women gain men. Women are reactionary. They react to us. So what?
I'm not saying that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, brother. But what I'm saying is that, like, yes, you're right. Women are reactionary, and women have game. And I think that's one of the things that all of us collectively will agree in the manosphere. You know, whatever side you're on, right? So I believe that, like, so I understand what you're saying to a fault, but when I heard Auston kind of speak Portuguese, like when he approached the girl, he said it with like authority, and it didn't sound like he was American. I guess I would have to. I guess I would have to hear Auston in action. But to me, when I heard him speak Portuguese, he didn't sound like someone. He didn't sound like someone who didn't know what he was talking about. And some people were saying some of the things that he was saying is in Spanish. Portuguese is very similar to Spanish. So if you do know Spanish, you will know some Portuguese. So some words are transferable. That's what somebody in the chat had said that.
So if you were speaking Spanish in it, that's what I'm saying. If you were saying Spanish things, a native Portuguese speaker is going to know that you're not speaking Portuguese like that.
So let me ask you this. Would you say that an American woman or a Brazilian woman is a better deal?
A better deal for what exactly?
Like, I'm going to get more value, in whatever way, if we want to talk about marriage, effort she puts into me, which one would be a better deal?
See, that there is no better deal. That's what I'm saying. I keep trying to tell you, it's based off the guy.
No. The motherfuckers in the United States don't even know how to cook for themselves.
No, this is what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is how a woman responds to you is based off you. So what I'm saying, so when you're asking a question, which girl is a better deal, the better deal is based off the better man.
Well,
what I'm trying to say. This is why it's so hard for guys to get this shit.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold up. Really quick. We got 346 viewers on here. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Make sure that you guys like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Definitely make sure you guys do that. I'm trying to get to 1,000. Hopefully tonight, man. This is a great topic. Sorry, go ahead, Auston.
So, damn, I keep forgetting. I'll get lost quick.
You need to start taking notes and just write down your question.
I do need to take notes. The answers be so long, I be wanting to write.
Look, Lucario know he long-winded.
I know. I'm doing that when you're explaining the game.
Yeah. Listen, let me see. So I said that the women in who is the better deal? Who has more to offer is what I'm trying to say. It's not about what the man wants. because a man in the United States could want a woman that cooks. I'm not going to sit here and lie to myself and say more women know how to cook today than they did 50 years ago. But in Brazil, that seems to be the complete opposite. The majority of women know how to cook.
So this is the part you're not getting, right? Well, okay, let's say you have a company like Google, right? And the company is, the structure's great. They've been there for years. Everything is on point, right? Then you have a startup company called whatever, just some random company, and they're all over the place. They don't got nobody doing the books. The managers always in and out and all this other stuff, right? What happens is that when a person works for that company, Google, right? Google has a structure in place where they're going to get more out of that employee because they have a structure. Whereas the other startup company may not have a structure in place, so they're not going to get the best out of that employee because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So what I'm saying is the best you're going to get out of a woman depends on how you are as a man. So the better you are as a man, the best you're going to get out of a woman. That's why you're not understanding the answer. So you're looking at the woman outside of the situation.
Okay. So the better of a man I am, the better she'll know how to cook.
Yes, the better you get a woman that's going to be able to cook.
Okay, so
yes.
Okay, would you say holding masculine frame will make you a better man? Being able to have a masculine frame.
What's masculine frame? What is that?
Well, like what I'm doing here, how I'm staying stoic. I'm not getting in my emotions, none of that. Would you say that's beneficial to a man? That makes him a better man?
Yeah, that's beneficial. If you
so me doing this makes a motherfucker know how to make pasta.
No, what that means is that if you are the type of guy that wants a woman to make pasta, guess what you're going to do? You're going to find a woman and you're going to vet her to see if she can make pasta.
What I'm telling you is the majority of these motherfuckers in the United States don't know how to cook for themselves.
No, but this is what I'm saying.
This is a fast food culture.
This is what you're not getting. Do you know that people sometimes when they want a certain job, they go back to school to learn so that they can do that job, right? So if a woman don't know how to cook pasta and she's like, this motherfucker want me to learn how to cook pasta, she's going to learn how to cook pasta for you. That's what I'm trying to explain.
I have to disagree because when I brag about women in Brazil knowing how to cook, the overwhelming majority of women say you're looking for a mom. So they don't even want to learn how to cook.
Wait, so the majority of women say that you're looking for a mom when you tell
you're
them
looking for a mom or you can cook for yourself. You've heard these things before.
Yeah, and that's exactly. And they're saying
they don't want you to train them. They don't want to get better for you. That's why they're gonna die alone.
Right. They don't want to get better for who? You. That's what I'm trying to say.
They don't want to get better for anybody.
With you. With you.
I have to interject because when I moved to Houston, every girl that I went out with was really trying to get me back to their crib to cook for me. Because that was my first time even dealing with the South. That was new to me, especially, coming over from over here from the Bay Area. When I got to the house, they was like, you need to come over here. You need to taste my chicken, or you need to taste my roast. You need to taste my, my potato salad. It was like a competition of girls like, mine's better, mine's better, mine's better, mine's better. So it's interesting just hearing and I'm sure Auston, especially, the younger women, they probably haven't even gotten there. But then again, the women that I were dealing with were pretty much late 20s, early 30s at the time. I don't really deal with under 25, but I found it kind of interesting that women really could not wait to show me that they can burn when I got down to Houston.
Okay. So you said younger women my age. I would agree with you. They ain't shit. They don't know. They got their pHs off.
Yeah.
But in Brazil, that's a complete flip. Why is that? That's a different culture. That's why I say that culture is generally going to have more to offer.
Is that what we need, though? I mean, you do you and everything. But my thing is this. So when you pack up and dip, and I'm actually going to ask you this personally, you're looking for a wife, aren't you?
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, so you're okay with just playing the field so far. But when you're ready to settle down, you do want to be married.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah, because my thing is this. I really haven't seen anybody come back from overseas with a wife just yet because they now have these options. So now the game done changed. And I think that's what's making a lot of other women out here upset. It's like, okay, you were getting on us and you overlooked some of us. You go over there and you're still not married. What's the problem? So now is there a F-boy mentality going over there? And it's like, have fun, do you? That's cool and everything. But the thing is, are these brothers looking for wives, or are they just saying that just to save face? I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be married, but there's also nothing wrong with wanting to play the game either.
Yeah, they are looking for wives. I mean, in my Facebook group, I got, if not hundreds of photos of dudes with women they're married to.
Yep, that's true.
Okay.
And I could co-sign because I'm in the group, and there are brothers that are going over there getting married. There are brothers that are going over there getting married,
and all of my homies are
here's
married. So this is funny.
Let me ask you. Here's a bullshit talking point. They say, "Oh, y'all aren't even going over there getting married." I've heard women say that, though. Y'all aren't going to get married, but they love to bring up 90 Day Fiance. Yeah. That's a TV show where dudes are bringing women back to get married. So which is it? Is it that I'm not getting married, or is it when I get married? I mean, what are we talking about?
Like, let's take a look at the chat there.
And those are the betas too. So
it's like is anybody in the chat that's bigging up the passports? Is anybody really monogamous right now?
Yeah, one brother, he's in the chat. He is
one. Do we have at least 200 men in a committed relationship overseas, or did they bring somebody back from overseas and they're in a solid committed relationship? Since American women ain't shit.
Oh, okay, so you know what? Good question, Reese. So this is what I'll say. So to answer Reese's question, just put a 1 in the chat if you have. And you could just put a 2 in the chat if no.
And I want to go ahead, and I'm not apologizing, but I have a daughter. My oldest is a daughter. So, my bad if you guys want to, say I'm coming off a little bit simpish and blue pill or whatever the fuck ever, but I do have a daughter. That's my firstborn. She's a teenager. So I actually have a responsibility. So when I'm asking these certain type of questions and everything, this can be used as a reference point in whatever case she may, deem desired. So I'm just like, so yes, of course, I'm going to speak from what I see from like a female's perspective, of course, because I've dated women my whole entire life out this way in the West. And I see these cats up in the chat like, Reese ain't dated overseas. Well, shit, if my success rate was great out here, I need to stay the hell out of Colombia or whatever. I really do. Just like I needed to stay the hell out of like Houston and Atlanta. It's slow down a bit.
Because whatever the games that you would play to get women here will run women off over there.
Well, that's the thing. I didn't play any games. See, and that's and I don't want to sell anything. I'm not trying to sell nothing. But Lucario says something very important at the end of every stream. The game, the truth is inside you. The truth is in each and every one of us. It's all different. We all have our own blueprint. You don't pull like I do, and I don't pull like you do, Auston. We don't pull like Lucario do. We don't pull like Kings do. We all have our own embedded chip. We have our own fingerprints when it comes to game. Because I could probably go to Auston and not grab anything. But you could probably come out here to the Bay Area and light them up. And I ain't gonna lie, I had issues, in Miami when I was younger, like, damn, I can't pull out here. And a lot of people will say, because you're articulate, you sound too damn smart. A lot of motherfuckers in Florida are dumb. No offense, sorry. But that's what people would actually say, like when I would travel to different spots. But real talk, a lot of people just have something else inside them that other people see. Like, look at this. All of us, this is not holding masculine frame. We just have enough respect for each other where we could pretty much sit back, listen to one another, be objective, sometimes be subjective, and just hear each other out. We're not even cutting each other off. But the chat, on the other hand, I'm not trying to take a dig at them, but this is not holding anything. This is just a respectful discussion, and we're just trying to get a common ground. And we may leave out of here and not even get. It's like Lucario's gonna go back to his end. I'm gonna go back to my kids. King's gonna go back to doing what he's doing. Auston, you're gonna get ready to pack. But we're all still gonna have love for one another at the end of the day with no jabs. All this is just a Discord. That's all this shit is. My thing is, chat. Why isn't the bullshit alleviated yet?
Well, there's a lot of trolls in the chat. That's probably what it is.
This is the most trolls I've ever seen.
This is the type of stuff. See, this is the thing. I don't expect the people in the chat to get what I'm saying. I really don't, because I already know y'all don't understand a game like that. My only thing is just be honest. You understand what I'm saying? Just be honest with whatever you do. Meaning that if you have a disagreement, that's cool. Because we ain't all gonna agree, but just be honest. Don't sit there and make up lies and talk shit about any of us on the screen right here. You see what I'm saying? And so I think that's disrespectful to anybody to talk shit about shit that's not real. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it.
So I wanted to touch on something earlier you said too, Reese, where you said you went to Houston and you said the chicks were pretty much racing to see who could cook the best for you. When I'm saying women, I've never said all American women can't cook.
Right.
But what are as opposed to going to another country like Brazil, what are the chances of you running into a woman that knows how to cook?
See, this is the problem. Well, not a problem, but this is the dope thing. As a black man, I have really rarely ran into a woman that could not cook. From growing up, going into the church, from going to the damn junior high school where a black woman is basically handing you greens and shit like that. Yeah, my junior high school did that out here in the Bay, if y'all didn't believe that. But everywhere I went, a woman was burning, right? And some of us, we even had, we cohabitated at younger ages. I lived with my first girlfriend when I was 24, around there, and she was 22. The woman knew how to make key lime pie at 22. Now, a lot of you guys may say, well, that shit's real, but look what that was. That was 2000, 2003, 2004. They don't make them like that anymore. What the fuck you talking about? It's 2004. Women cook. They be on YouTube every day trying to figure out how to burn us. I don't know why. They're just not as amplified. They don't run into them, these type of women, because they at home learning some shit. They're busy. And I think that's where shit gets missed.
What are women busy doing?
Some are just occupied with just life. Some are studying, some are cooking, some just have a life. Some are even in marriages, some are even in relationships, or some of them are just hanging out with their friends. They're not just available. And that's my thing. So obviously overseas, there may just be a bunch of women that are just available. But as far as we know, we don't know if are they single or what?
This is why I say that they're different. This is why I say that they're different. Because I've had women that would work 12-hour shifts and then they would still put in the effort to come see me after work, and they would cook. There's a difference.
Wait, hold on. So who are these women? Is these women in where you at? Where you living?
Are they what?
These are overseas girls that will come see after cooking?
Yeah. I'm not saying that won't happen in the States, but I'm not going to lie to myself and say that I'm just bumping into that. You go.
That was my point, Austin. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you just said exactly what I said. You have a woman who would cook for you because she wanted to cook for you.
Like when I was in Houston.
Most American women don't even know how to cook, though.
Well, let me say this, right? So in my 37 years of living, right? So I've been rocking out with this lady in Colombia for 3 years, right? And I agree with Austin's point to the standpoint where my lady's a nurse, works 10, 12-hour shifts, will come to the crib tired, will still make me a full course meal. Not just I'm gonna make you some SpaghettiOs or baked or box mac and cheese. No, really cook some organic food, right? And again, I'm not saying that cannot happen in the States. What I am saying is that myself and brothers are saying that has not happened for them in the States, right? So I think that's where the disconnect is, because I don't ever want to say that can't happen, but I will say that outside of the United States, it seems that women prioritize their men as opposed to in the United States, where they prioritize their job or whatever business that they're trying to get into, and the men feel neglected.
But see, this is the thing, though. You just said, and you and Austin just said, yeah, there was women that we dealt with that were doing that, right? So what that means is that when a woman has a desire to do that, then she will. So when all these guys are saying that this is not happening, all that means is that those guys can't find women who desire to do that for them. It's real simple.
I want to ask you a yes or no question. Do you think, and I think I already asked this, do you think that more women in the States, that if I put all the American women in some bowl and I reached in, do you think she would know how to cook for herself? This doesn't have shit to do with a man. If she was starving and she needed to cook, would she know how to do it? Versus if I go to Brazil and pull some random woman out, would she know how to cook?
You talking about cooking for themselves?
Yes, cooking for themselves. It has nothing to do with a man. An American. So you think the average American woman just knows how to cook?
Yes, they do. This is the disconnect because they're not cooking for certain men.
They don't even cook.
They think women don't know how to cook. See, this is what I tell you. Women will play those games with guys they not fucking with. That's what you're not getting.
I think take the men out of it. It has nothing.
No, this is my point. What I'm saying is that a guy is only going to experience what is in front of him. So what happens is that a woman who knows how to cook is going to act like she don't know how to cook or that she don't want to cook for that guy. That means she's not fucking with him. Because that same woman who says, well, I don't cook like that, she going to cook for another dude. Just like how a woman will say, I don't have sex on the first date, and she going to fuck another guy on the first date. That's how women operate. That's what I'm trying to say.
What I'm telling you, I'm saying take the men out of it.
But this is what you're not understanding, Auston. What she's saying is based off of the guy she's dealing with. So because you're asking a question, do women know how to cook? I'm saying yes, they do. So what's going to happen is the guys are going to be like, nah, because I'll be running into these girls. They don't know how to cook. They don't want to cook for me. They're saying that to you. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Y'all think women are one way to all guys. That's not how it works. Women act differently to different dudes. That's what I'm saying.
But again, I'm telling you, take the men out of it. They don't know how to.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I've even heard from other women that they say that their homegirls don't know how to cook. We live in a fast food culture. Everything is fast food. You're not going to convince me that more people know, men and women. You're not going to convince me that more men and women know how to cook in the United States as opposed to.
Okay, so let me ask you this question though. Do you care about the woman cooking for you or the woman knowing how to cook?
Well, if she knows how to cook, she can cook for me. So yeah.
So you're more concerned about her cooking for you, right?
Yeah.
Right. So it doesn't matter if she knows how to cook, because if she doesn't know how to cook, she can learn how to cook for you. Do you get that? So even if she doesn't know how to cook, let me
rephrase what I want. I don't want to have to send this bitch to school to learn how to cook.
No,
the motherfuckers in Brazil know how to cook when they're like 5 and 6.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You don't have to send her to school. What I'm trying to explain
to you she would learn.
Yes, she would learn.
Go through a process.
No, she would go through the process on her own to become that woman for you. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. The same way that you would go to Brazil and this woman is like, I'm going to cook for you and all this other stuff, and she's being all submissive and all that other shit, is the same way the woman here, if they saw you as valuable, they will do the same exact thing. Ask me how I know. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's the same shit. It just depends on the guy.
Again, so you're disagreeing with yourself.
You're not getting.
You're saying that if she finds the right man, all of a sudden she knows how to cook.
Yes, she's going to learn if that man wants that. Yes, he will.
And my point to you is, why would I wait? Because people just don't turn into chefs overnight. Like, oh, I'm gonna learn, and tomorrow I'm a fucking chef. No, why would I do that when I can go get a chick from another country that's gonna she's been doing this?
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Why is she cooking for you?
Same reason women have been cooking for men for thousands of years.
No, well, why? That's what I'm saying. Why? What's the reason?
I mean, we're not asking why. I'm asking, can they do it?
No, but there's a reason why. They're not just doing it just to do it. There's a reason why they're doing it. So I'm asking why they're doing it.
Why not? She cooks for herself.
No, I'm saying, why would she do it for you? That's what I'm asking. Like,
if I'm providing for her and I'm her man and she cooks for herself, she's gonna cook.
Okay, so you're saying that if you're providing for her and you are her man, that's the reason why she's gonna cook for you, right?
Yes.
Right. So
I'll tell you why, because women in the States withhold that.
So see, this is what you keep saying. You're saying that they're withholding it in the States. So you're trying to tell me the women in the States, they're not gonna cook for their man?
They say publicly that they'll withhold it. Yeah.
So you're saying to me that if a woman is with a man she loves and respects, she's not gonna cook for him in the States?
If she loves and respects him and she knows how to cook, yes. But there's some women that it's just like sex. The women will weaponize sex. Same way they'll weaponize the wife duties such as cooking.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. They'll do that to guys they don't respect. So that's what I'm saying. If she loves and respects you, she will do it. So what I'm saying is, if you're coming across women who aren't going to do it, the reason why they aren't going to do it is because they don't love and respect you. That's what I'm saying. So it's not this thing where they just don't do it. The reason why they're not doing it is because they don't love and respect you. That's what I'm saying. So if it's not happening, there's no love and respect there. So if you go to Brazil, the woman she might do that for you because there's some level of respect that she may have for you, which is why she's doing it. So the same applies here. If she has love and respect for you, she will do it. If she doesn't, she won't.
And let me ask you, why do you think the women in Brazil may have respect for
because the society over there, right, has been brought up to train her to do that. So now society is running that woman in order to give you the benefit. Do you see what I'm saying? But what happens is, say that again.
Isn't that the better deal? Go to a woman.
The better deal. The better deal is when the man is influencing her. You know why? Because let's say you go to Brazil, right? No, I said society is influencing her. What I'm saying is you should be influencing her, not society. You understand what I'm saying?
I have to tame her. So she's a wild animal I have to tame, basically.
You gotta train women, because check this out, Austin. Let's say you meet a girl in Brazil. You actually like this chick. Y'all get together, she becomes your girl or whatever, and you really love this woman, right? If you're not influencing her, I could come through and swoop your girl real quick because you have no influence over your woman. The society does. You see what I'm saying? So because the society has influence over your woman, then it's easy for another man to come through and swoop your chick. That's what I'm trying to say.
So let me kind of backtrack a little bit there, right? Because on that point that you said that society has it embedded, in women's nature, if you will, overseas to cook for the man and things of that nature, right? And so the thing is that now society, or Western society, North America, Western parts of Western Europe, they prioritize women getting their education and things of that sort. So when we're going to most of these countries that prioritize the man being head of household, don't you think that plays a significant role? Because I hear you say that, right? A woman has to respect you and things of that sort. I get that 1,000%. What I will say is that with their prioritizing men in the household in a lot of these countries that some of these men travel to, this is why we're able to get that femininity and that submission without having to, as Austin said, tame. You know what I mean? Because we don't want to have to be on episode of First Take with a woman. We don't want that. We want to be able to have a conversation and not like have to tame her. I get what you're saying to a fault, right, Mr. Lucario? My pushback is that I would say that does sound like a better deal.
But you also got to remember, you have to maintain a relationship. So maintenance always occurs in a long-term relationship, no matter who you're in a relationship with. So it doesn't matter if you get a girl from Brazil, Japan, New York, whatever. You still have to maintain her over a long period of time. So maintenance is where you're going to have to be able to sustain consistently over a period of time. So what happens is usually in any relationship, things will occur in a way where everything is all peachy keen at the beginning. That happens in most situations in all types of that. That's what they call new relationship energy. So in the new relationship energy, everything seems cool, but stay with that girl for a while, right? Stay with her for a little bit longer. And then you're going to see certain things occur because you're not able to maintain the situation. You see what I'm saying? And that goes all across the board, because you got to ask yourself this question, right? If you meet a chick overseas and she's single, right? But she's the better deal, how come none of these guys in her country wifed her up?
There's too many of them.
Too many of what? Women to wife them up?
There's too many women.
Where in the country? So all the guys in Brazil and all that, they already got wifed. They wifed up. They wifed up.
They're playing the field because they can. The same way the women they're playing the field here and flaking on men. That's the same thing the Brazilian dudes do. That's why they don't mind us going down there. So the Brazilian guys, all the Brazilian guys out there, right? They're not wifing up these chicks. They're just playing the field. They're like, fuck it. She's not good enough. I'm gonna just keep it moving. They got a red pill community
in Brazil.
Yeah.
Why? I thought the chicks were like.
I don't know. I said I don't know why they have a red pill community, but they.
Sorry.
I don't know, but
wow.
That's crazy.
It's funny because in the chat they were trying to say that all women are not the same across the board, but if there's a red pill community overseas,
well, I debunked those red pill dudes. I had one of them come on my channel, and I debunked him too because he tried to say that Brazilian women, where I was falsely comparing them, that they're no different than American women. We broke it down again.
was it a Brazilian dude? Was
Yeah,
he
he
a
was a
local?
Brazilian dude that spoke English, and we asked him how many girlfriends have you had. He didn't give me a number. He was 30, so I guess he's had many women he's dealt with. How many of them cook for you? All of them. I don't know too many American men. This is a generalization. You might be able to say that, but the majority of dudes in fucking America cannot just say all my girlfriends that I dealt with cook for me. So there is a difference. I mean, the majority of bitches in the United States fat as hell. There's a difference.
A question. Quick question. Off topic. How do I put the chat in slow mode?
I don't know.
I don't go live, so you gotta ask Lucario.
I don't know. I never did that.
That's something you had to do on your.
What is going too fast or something?
Yeah, my moderators asked me to slow it down.
Oh shit! It don't matter. What you trying to do? Catch some questions?
Yes.
Okay, because I know it's getting late. So can we get some good questions from some actual adults? Because it looks like we got a lot of teenagers up in this bullshit. I mean, it's kind of embarrassing being up in here. Like I cannot believe the vernacular that I've been seeing. This
shit is funny.
This is some grade A bullshit.
Man.
Like this is definitely October from what I'm seeing. This is embarrassing.
That's crazy.
And I don't see no wrenches, Kings. And if somebody got some wrenches,
if you see my moderator,
I ain't seen one mod since I've been here.
No, one of them left and another one she's in here right now.
I think the chat kicked the mod out. Shit.
Nah, man. Nah, bro. Don't forget, it's a lot of people commenting, bro.
Yeah. Oh, but there was one question to me, which is actually a pretty good question. So I'll go ahead and I'll answer it. It was actually a funny question. Somebody asked earlier, since I have a daughter, would I want her to game her up and swoop up on her like myself or like Mr. Lucario?
What?
Yeah, somebody asked her earlier, since I have a daughter, what I want to do to holler at her like myself or like Mr. Lucario. Now, the thing is this. I can teach my daughter right from wrong. I can teach her which man is bullshitting and all of that. But at the end of the day, she's going to end up making her own decision. Like, there's been silver spooners that still became freaking murderers at the end of the day. You make your own decision as an adult, and honestly, that's a win-win, because when I holler and when Lucario hollers, they're coming at you with honesty. It's being upfront, whether they want to take you out of date and get to know you because they see you as a potential mate to be in a relationship with. That's cool, because I was like that, and I'm sure Mr. Lucario was like that. But if you're just trying to smash and he's upfront about it, that's cool too, because you're not playing any games. You don't have on a mask. You don't have to lie just to smash. And then next thing you know, we now have another woman, especially a black woman with a broken heart, being bitter. And now she becomes a YouTuber, racking up 100,000 bodies online, bashing black men all day. It's like, no, I don't want that to happen to her. I want her to pretty much let anybody in her life to have a conversation that's going to be honest and upfront about what they desire, whether it's being in a relationship or if it's just a fling. And she can say yay or nay. And that's the problem that we have in this community. A lot of us are just not honest with ourselves. Shit. At the end of the day, I like Auston. This motherfucker said, I'm out. Why? Because the women over there are better. He's happy. He made his decision. He kept it real with himself. He's happy over there. Peace. And I'm going to wish him well, because that's another brother with a smile on his face when we ain't going to have freaking hypertension over women like a lot of men are having. He ain't going to be hiding behind an avatar on lives talking about women all damn day. He's somewhere happy. That's how it should be at the end of the day. But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and address that, so shout out to whoever, threw that question out there earlier.
Right.
Ain't none of y'all even asking questions. Y'all just bullshit after bullshit after bullshit.
They just saying shit.
And it's the same people saying the same bullshit. I'm seeing red, blue caps and
crazy.
This is embarrassing. Y'all got Auston and Lucario on the same damn panel, and y'all don't even know how to handle that shit. Y'all should have had questions. Y'all knew the Q&A was gonna come on my man's channel. Y'all had Auston and Lucario side by side. And what y'all do all day? Mr. Open Marriage. Tell him, Auston. Yeah, get him, Auston. Auston 316. Yeah, that's all. What the fuck?
You know one thing I'll say about Auston, I at least appreciate the fact that Auston, and even you, King and Dreams, y'all some mature motherfuckers. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all mature as hell, because some of these dudes out here, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, they don't know how to actually, act like a man. You see what I'm saying? So as a man, you got to stand on your shit. And that's what I respect about everybody that's on this panel, is that you say, this is what I want to do, and this is what the fuck I'm doing. And that's that. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. And so that's what it's about being a man. You say, listen, I'm gonna do my shit. This is what I think. This is what I believe, and we're gonna do that. And we're all gonna disagree. Trust me, we're all gonna disagree. But the problem is that when men start acting like bitches, you know what I'm saying, and talking shit and just making shit up and trying to basically be on some some goofy ass shit, I could see why some of y'all really have a lot of issues with women, because women don't like to have sex with guys. And shout out to my dude Steve the Dean. He always says, if your pussy's tighter than hers, she ain't trying to fuck with you. So understand that a lot of your women problems come from the fact that you're a troll. You understand what I'm saying? That trolling behavior is the shit you can see when they deal with you. That they see a loser. And they're like, shit, this is, and this is why you're having trouble. So just understand that. Understand that that's part of it.
Yeah, Auston, you got a lot of these cats rooting for you and shit. And I know you don't get down with half of these dudes up in here because they on the bullshit. You very intelligent, and they on the bullshit. I'm sorry. Shout out to you, Auston.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Sorry, I'm over here trying to slow this thing down, and I can't find it.
I'm trying to look for a question. That's just a bunch of bullshit. Like, are we adults here? Like, it's too late for this. Like, yo, this shit look like Fresh and Fit. Come on, man. There ain't nothing up in here.
Shout out to my dudes, Fresh and Fit.
Yeah, shout out to y'all.
Yo.
Like, come on. I can't even find a question for Auston.
That's crazy.
Maybe I'm overlooking it, because if it ain't, then, I'm going to go.
Right.
I'm going to binge off my Halloween movies and everything, unless, somebody is going to actually grow up and actually drop a question. See, we got some more blue caps from this Azrael motherfucker. See, man, that's what I'm talking about. These niggas.
I didn't see Azrael put anything in there.
Yeah, he was in the whole shit talking shit. But listen, man. I mean, again, it is what it is. I don't fuck with all these niggas that lie.
Hold on. Here's a question right here, my man. Jay Clyde. He said, "Whoa, not this one." He said, "What countries have you been to?" I'll go with you, Lucario, first.
Brazil, Canada, Barbados. Where else? Jamaica. Yeah, that's about it so far.
Gotcha. All right, and then Reese, what about you?
I ain't been overseas. The farthest I've been was Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And boy, that was an eye opener.
Listen, your eyes. Let me tell you, you still got blinders on, brother. I'm saying, don't get me wrong. Puerto Rico is.
It was interesting. Shit looked like Richmond, California. It's funny because we stayed in a spot called Carolina when I was down there, and we went over to like old San Juan and everything. It was cool and everything, but it was a different experience. And the girls there are cute, language barrier, but I was chilling. See, I was actually already in Houston and caught a flight, met up with the homies over there, and we just chilled and kicked it. We really wasn't you know, jumping on girls like that and everything. I was trying to go to the Bacardi factory and all that shit. But yeah, I guess that's the difference between if you really trying to smash and you just smash enough. It's like, damn, I'm just trying to see what's up with the rum. And you know, I enjoyed myself. It was a great experience. It was cool seeing 90 cent gas, but back in 2010. But yeah, it was cool, you know. But I would love to, like, you know, touch down in like Nairobi, Kenya, you know, or go to Zaire or see South Africa. I would love to go overseas. I want to go to the motherland first. I know everybody be like, oh, what the fuck? You better go to, you know, Tokyo first or Colombia, but I'm married, so I ain't doing that shit. I want to go see, you know, where, you know, where shit happened first. That's just me.
Yeah. So, well, I can tell you, I have not been to Kenya, but I'm going to Kenya in 2023. So I'm excited to go there, man. Nairobi and Mombasa. Those are the two places I'm gonna check out.
That's what's up.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I think it's important. I think it's important that I know you're married and everything, Reese, but I think it's important that you travel because, like, not just the ladies, but the atmosphere. You'll see there's a complete difference. Even as a man, you get addressed differently. You get communicated with differently. There's a certain level of humbleness that we see overseas that is not particularly over here. And I understand, you know, like, there are some women that do it, but I will say that overseas, for me and other brothers, it's an overwhelming experience of that pleasureness. And it's not just play for play, just in normal everyday stuff, just the respect that you get as a man.
Right. Yeah, and I heard, you know, we got Affy Kingdom. Shout out to Affy Kingdom because he's a traveling. Yeah, and you know, my baby brother,
that's my dude.
Yeah, you already know he gives the good, the bad, and the ugly because he was like, fuck China. He's like, China will let you know, well, we don't like your black ass, yada yada yada. But even like he's
really,
you know, I believe he has a traveling YouTube, I think. Don't he, Lucario? Because that boy has hella channels. We know.
Yeah. Affy be going in.
Yeah, he documents all his stuff. So he's been everywhere, and he always gives the good and bad and the ugly and everything. So, but of course, me, when I go, it'll be with the family, and it'll be somewhere monumental like a Rome or some shit like that. But yeah, looking forward to it. But right now, I got things to like handle here. Say the bread, take care of these little crumb snatchers.
Yeah, so I got you. So this is a good question. Lucario, I know you got to roll out, but I just want to get your feedback on this one. Shout out to my man Bet Out of Debt, and he talks about stocks on his channel. He's had Lead Attorney on his channel. He's had my man Zoom to Thailand on his channel. Just recently had Big Boss on his channel. I know you got to have me on your channel, right? But yeah, man, you know, definitely talks about money, and this brother is going to be traveling soon. Well, he's been overseas, but he's going to do a lot more traveling soon. So his question is, why do dating coaches discount the culture so much? Culture is everything. I think he meant to say like either discredit. I think he meant to say like discredit culture. I think that's
I don't discredit culture, but a lot of these guys unfortunately don't understand the power of a man. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is why, like, when I look at tricking, I'm like, you're paying a woman to fuck her like she's the shit when she should be begging for your dick. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're that dude. So a lot of these guys don't understand that the power of a man overrides the culture. This is what they don't get. This is why you can get women who will say, oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to never do that. And then they end up doing it with the right guy. That's what a lot of these dudes don't get. Unfortunately, a lot of these guys have never been in a situation where they've had genuine burning a desire from a woman. And so therefore, they don't understand this concept. They think that, well, this woman says this or does this or she's like this. No, the woman's going to be how I want her to be. But see, dudes don't understand that concept because they've never had influence over a woman. It's that simple.
Gotcha. Okay. Hold on. Okay, so Zoom to Thailand says, is Zoom to Thailand capping?
What?
What? See?
Oh no! Wait, I think he might have been talking to somebody else. I'm not sure. Sorry about that, Zoom. But shout out to you, bro. Hold on. Hey, Learn Crypto. I'm trying to find your question. There's a lot of comments in here, man.
Yeah,
a lot of comments, and I'm trying to get this question off because I know Lucario's got to go.
Yeah, it's like I'm blue pill and I'm beta. Well, I'll get to smash my wife when this is over. What y'all gonna do?
Okay, here we go. I think this is it. All right, so he says, okay, so he says, why should I spend $4K for advice from Lucario? I don't understand that question though. Like,
This nigga has a cartoon avatar, dude.
No. He's actually a real guy though. I know him.
He wants to know why he should.
Yeah, like I guess what his question is, what's the benefit of? So I'll ask it in a generic sense, right? So more generic. So what is, what do men benefit from learning from you?
Right. Well, the thing they got to understand is that knowledge costs. So you don't have to spend anything. You can just keep doing what you're doing. But if you're in a position you're in, and the position you're in isn't a position you want to be in, right? You're going to have to invest in yourself to get the outcome you want. So you don't have to do anything. So I tell guys all the time, like, don't buy it. Don't get the Bad Boy membership. Don't buy any of my books. Don't get any of my my coaching. Don't do none of that shit. You see what I'm saying? Because if you're asking the question, why should I, then you shouldn't. Do you see what I mean? And what I mean by that is this, is that in every other aspect of life, dudes understand that they got to invest. Dudes understand that they got to purchase. Dudes, it's interesting. You'll purchase a chick for sex, but you won't purchase something that will elevate your mind in your whole life, which is interesting. But the thing is that people got to understand that, hey, if you don't want to do it, you ain't got to do it. And the reason why I'm answering it this way is because a lot of the times when people ask those type of questions, they're not really asking to ask. They're trying to highlight the price, and they're trying to low key diss the situation. You understand? I'm not stupid. So it's a low key disrespectful kind of question as they're asking.
You know what? And let me just give an honor to some for y'all don't know. You already know that I plugged Game Kings. Even with Carbon Ops Broadcast, we had you on the show, and we pretty much centered around that. And Game Kings was just a phenomenal work. It's a documentary. It's a dating coach documentary, and I wouldn't even say it was a dating documentary. It's the first of its kind when it comes to game of all forms of life. Shout out to Rosebud. Eddie Fuse. Shout out to everybody that participated in that. And even that has a price tag, but it was so good in the work that was put into that. You can see the work that was put into that doc. And if it's anything as far as Manosphere goes, everybody should be plugging it. Even you too, Kings and Dreams. Like, please, plug that documentary because it was really, really good. It's the first of its kind, and it was Black owned, Black funded, Black produced. You're not gonna get another one like that. You're not.
Right.
Like, this is the first of its kind, and hopefully the last of its kind. Because if another one comes, it's gonna get bitten off of this one. So regardless of price tags of coaching and all this other crazy shit, go get Game Kings.
But also, I want to say this is what sucks about this is I seen my dude Auston Holleman. He put up the Patreon, he put up the GoFundMe, and y'all playing games. Like if a dude is putting in work and you support him, then support him. Right?
Yeah, regardless of what he's doing.
So like if that's supposed to be, someone that you're looking at and they're putting in the work, support motherfuckers. But it's funny because look, I'm good. I'm just saying that I just don't like the fact that people try to act like that people aren't putting in the work. And then when you're saying, hey, listen, invest in this situation that I'm doing to make things happen, then they're like, oh, well, what are you talking about? That's crazy and all this other stuff. But they'll go buy a fucking Gucci belt or some stupid shit. You know what I'm saying?
These the same dudes that said that Hidden Color should be free.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Crazy, man.
I got you, man. So Lucario, I know you got to bounce, man. But what would you say? Are your final words on this whole thread and everything that you think? Because I just want to hear your final thoughts.
I say this, man. First of all, shout out to you for putting this together. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely came on this because of you and because of Reese, and also because of Holleman, Auston, because I've seen a lot of his videos and stuff, and he seems really cool. And I like to deal with people and work with people who actually are men and who actually aren't on a bunch of bullshit and bitchiness. So, shout out to you and shout out to everybody. But I'll say this, man, people just got to understand that people are different. People are going to look at shit different ways. And you have to do what's right for you as a man. So that's what manhood is about. Doing what you feel is right for you, regardless of what anybody else is thinking. And that's it. That's all I say.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. All right, man. Well, definitely, I appreciate you, man. And make sure that you guys follow and subscribe to Mr. Lucario. And shout out to Miles Cunningham. I think you guys do some good content over there, man. I personally like it, man. So shout out to you, brother. And I appreciate you coming on, man.
That's what I appreciate you, bro.
All right, man.
I'm a holler. Peace.
Right. Oh man, and then there were 3. Man, this was interesting, man. This was interesting. Hey, Reese, so what do you think? What are your final thoughts, brother? Because I'm gonna close this down.
Like I said before in the beginning, this first of all, yeah, shout out to you, shout out to Lucario, shout out to my man Auston. This is awesome. I know a lot of people thought that it was going to be a whole bunch of yelling and cutting off and going back and forth and everything like that. But it's like, no, we got some intelligence up in here. This is how we carry ourselves. Everybody's grown. And it's all about being an example. But like I said in the beginning, in order for a space to continue with a discord like this, there has to be a little bit more, like the composure and disposition has to be a little bit more reasonable in the chat and everything. The chat was a mess, but that's how it is. Trolls are trolls, and what would the world be without the trolls? You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we had great discussion, great common ground, and you do you. It's all about just owning up to why you're doing it and everything, so when folks get on us about like why, what's the benefits of being married, some of us who were already playing the field before we got married, we're like, okay, what's the benefits of being single besides just getting ass? And most people would just be like, well, marriage, you'll get raped in a divorce. And it's like, well, I'm going on 10 years strong and I haven't had no issues yet. It's like, yeah, we have our roller coasters here and there, but that's where communication comes in. And someone like myself, I have to be the example. So it's like, yeah, I'm the married family man with the daughter and the son. So what I have to do is basically show you how I give y'all that game when it comes to committed relationships or even married, or if you're even thinking about being a committed relationship. And that's what this space needs. So that's where I come in myself. But there really has to be a little bit more handle when it comes to the spectators, a little bit more support, enough of the jabs and everything, because this was not going to be a showdown between anybody. This was just a discussion, and the discussion went well. And I'm looking forward to another one day, man. This was awesome. And shout out to everybody in the chat who was actually positive. Shout out to y'all.
Yeah, well, man, thank you, Reese, man. We'll definitely have another one, man. We'll definitely have another one, but I definitely gonna have to enforce some rules about engagement, man. But thank you, man. I appreciate you, brother, for real, man. And I'm glad that you're feeling better.
No doubt, man. Y'all have a good night, man. Love and peace.
All right, I appreciate you, man.
All right, good evening. All right, Auston.
Mr. Auston, what do we got, man? Thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Oh, thank you for having me. I respect everybody's opinion. Everybody looks at things differently. I think that certain personality types are for certain areas. Maybe, hey, like I said, my personality is better in Austin, Texas, but it's clearly better in every other country but here, but especially Brazil. And that's the advice I provide. If you feel like you relate, then you probably benefit from that advice. And so far, a lot of people have been benefiting. I appreciate Lucario and Reese not, over talking, like a lot of debates. But I appreciate everybody in the chat that showed up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate everybody. I won't be, somebody asked if I'd be recapping tonight. I won't. I have to, since I'm leaving later this week, I have a lot of people that want to tell me goodbye tomorrow. So I have to do this tomorrow or Thursday. We do a recap. Probably tomorrow, though.
All right, cool. I appreciate you. Austin, just check the back chat for a second.
Okay.
Hey, man. Well, first of all, I just want to thank my guests for coming out. Definitely appreciate Auston Holleman, appreciate Reese, appreciate Mr. Lucario. I appreciate everyone that came out in the chat. You know, the chat was a little testy, but you know, it was testy on all sides. But moving forward, I think that we will definitely have a better dialogue because I definitely want to do this again. Overall, what I think of this conversation, if you have the means to be able to travel and you're able to find peace overseas or whether it's in the United States, just make sure that you find peace. But what I would say is that you want to, you know, you want to make sure that what you are doing, you don't want to succumb to any pressures, whether it be succumbing to staying in the States or you feel like you're forced to travel. You want to do it because you want to do it, especially men, right? What I will say is that a lot of men, we do travel overseas because we get that femininity, right? We get that natural femininity. It is embedded, usually embedded in women's nature for them to be friendly and show men respect, right? And I'm not saying that women don't show respect in the States. What I will say is that it is not it is not promoted culturally. It is usually promoted. Women could be dominant and things of that sort, where they are saying that basically men are not needed in the household, and that is further from the truth. But again, I respect everyone that came out. We had a great dialogue, great conversation. Definitely shout out to everyone, man. Salute. And we will definitely do this again. Big shout out to Gail at night for coming in, holding it down. I'm gonna have to look at that behind the scenes so I could fix the slowdown, so I can do this again. But thank you so much for coming through. Shout out to Felicia Jordan. Shout out to Garden Scientist, my moderators. You know, a couple of some heavyweights came out. My man, Big Boss, Andre Love Crossing Borders, Zoom to Thailand, Bet Out of Debt. I don't want to name everybody, but there was a lot of y'all that came in there. So I saw y'all, man. Salute to y'all. Stay purposely purposeful. I'm out.